Hey y'all, welcome on in to the stream. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. I know I scheduled the stream kind of last minute. I got a new hard drive, external hard drive to store everything on, and it was basically transferring files all day. So Premiere wouldn't work, Photoshop wouldn't work, none of the other stuff would work. Otherwise the files would take literally like 30 hours to transfer. So I was waiting for files to transfer. I was supposed to start at 5. We're starting now a little bit after 6. A little bit over an hour late, but that's okay, right? Right? I'm trying to catch my breath really quick. Oh my goodness, y'all. I feel like I say that far too often because, like, yeah. Anyways, oh, I don't have my last light on. That's why it looks a little bit dark still. Let's fix that really quick. Welcome in, everybody. You can kind of see Merlin behind me. Merlin! I was going the wrong way. You can kind of see Merlin back there. He's in his bed. His face is not in the camera. Oh, there it is. Well, there's his ear. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the game. We are, again, literally just going through and editing the worlds. We're gonna go through and continue deleting houses. What were we on last time? I think we had done Forgotten Hollow, and that was the last one. Yes. So Brindleton Bay is what? No, we did Brindleton. Yeah, we did all the houses in Brindleton Bay already. Did we do Del Sol Valley? We got through more worlds than I thought we got through. We did get through Del Sol Valley. Strangerville then. Strangerville. Okay, yeah, so do you need to delete all the homes in Strangerville? So these families, I swear, you have a mod that allows for them to have a lot of, what's it called? A lot of, oh my goodness. A lot of family members in one household, and they will pack these houses to the brim. It's crazy. It's literally just crazy. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody faring after the plague event happening in our little save? I say little save because I feel like compared to a lot of the people that I've seen play this game, we had a relatively little save. And yeah, it's it was rough. I feel like we lost so many Sims. So many Sims. Oh, this is where the Volcobs live. Pretty sure they're an immortal Sim as well. At least that last name is. I don't know if the immortal Sim was actually living there or not. But yeah, our little corner of the Ultimate Decades Challenge is tiny. We don't have a lot of family members. Luckily, our family is doing all right, but I'm not gonna fully say everything in case anybody hasn't watched it yet. Go watch it. It is intense. It is crazy. All of my reactions are genuine because I do not rig the dice flips or anything. I know sometimes with the things that happen, it might seem like I rig the dice flips. I promise you I do not rig the dice flips, however. And sometimes when certain things happen, I genuinely freak out because I don't expect for them to happen. So, yeah, I will just say, but if you guys are in here, there might be spoilers to the most recent episode at some point or another while we're streaming, because I'm sure that someone's gonna bring it up. I will probably bring up different things and stuff like that. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this new memory is there's such a big light on it and it blinks a lot. The plague is Petra's fault. Oh my goodness. I think I'm making that into a short. I was supposed to edit that video today, the next episode, and I didn't get a chance to because of all the files transferring. I also just realized I 100% forgot to transfer any of my thumbnail items onto this new hard drive. So I'm gonna have to rehook up my old hard drive and collect all the thumbnail items, which sounds simple. The only issue is my hard drives that I'm using right now. The hard drives you have to plug into a power source as well as plug into the computer. They don't just take up a USB slot, they also take up a power cable slot. And my power cable has 0 slots left. So I have to use the power cable that's connected to the little light above me, which is giving me this like red glow. And that light's connected to the light switch. And earlier I accidentally turned off my hard drive because I was trying to turn off the light. And I told Patrick a million times, don't turn it off, because Patrick will remember. I don't remember things I tell Patrick for myself sometimes. It's an issue. It's a real issue, you know? But yeah, so that was a whole ordeal. How's everyone else been doing now? Oh my goodness. I'm winded. And I don't know why I'm so winded. I'm also very shiny. I wish I was, ooh, my hair. Don't look at my side of my hair. It's fine. I was sleeping for a good 2 hours, at least earlier. So, you know, casual midday 2-hour nap. Everybody takes those, right? Whoops. No, but for real, I slept a little bit too long. But yeah, I need to grab all the thumbnail stuff. I think all the videos were uploaded. Did I grab the recordings? I'm becoming a nappy bear. I mean, I kind of am, if we're being completely honest. I've been like sleeping a little bit too often. Hopefully today though, okay, so I'm hoping that this is the last maintenance stream where we're deleting all this stuff. I do want to do another maintenance stream at some point where we're making a new family tree, because I no longer have a family tree for this save. So yeah, because unfortunately the Plumtree app, they officially shut down in December, on December 1st. So I don't have that family tree anymore, or access to like edit it, obviously, because the website's gone. So I know I saw a TikTok the other day that gave me another good website for Sims 4 family trees. I just need to actually go and do that, so that way our family tree can stay. I also need to message Aaron about what that mod is again that keeps Sims in certain worlds, because I think I want that, so that way like we can kind of see the difference in the Sims, like how they just look from the families that are from the different worlds for a while. Like we might move around like royals and stuff like that, so all the royals might be related at some point. They probably will be in all the different worlds that we're gonna eventually have. But I do also want for there to be like, you know, just general families and Sims. I did recently do MC Command Center to set the lifespan of all the Sims to the amount of days that like the different dice rolls would be. So even though I'm not playing with townies, obviously the townies will survive for about the right amount of time. They won't be affected by things like plague and random other miscellaneous stuff, but they should live for about the same amount of time now that our Sims are living for, rather than, you know, obviously living and dying a lot quicker than what our Sims are currently living and dying for the most part. Because I believe with this challenge, your Sims live for a lot longer if they survive all the dice rolls than they would if you're just playing like on normal lifespan for townies. I'm pretty sure. I'm also trying to figure out still what worlds for sure I want to use. I know we're going to be using the Get Together world for a medieval world. I am debating what I want to do with it, because we are going to be doing it on the island. I do kind of want to have a monastery somewhere, because that was such a big part of like medieval history. I know that this isn't fully historically accurate, don't get me wrong, but I've been watching a lot of like, recently I've been watching Vikings Valhalla. So I've watched the original Vikings when it first came out, and that was, I really enjoyed the show. I know not everything is historically accurate. Nothing is fully historically accurate. Whenever someone says something is historically accurate, take any show, any movie, anything with a grain of salt, because there's always going to be slight small differences in different people's opinions on different aspects of history. And yeah, that's always the fun part about it. So like, But one thing I do know is at least during Tudor England, which this world is supposed to be modeled after England, this challenge, there was a lot of the monasteries that ran a lot of the different farms and stuff like that. So I think that I want to build a monastery in whatever world. It doesn't need to necessarily be in the same world, but I want to have a monastery somewhere that also is like a land owning entity, possibly. Maybe the sim that actually owns like the real, I don't know how to do it. I really wish that in just base game we could have like both living areas and businesses on the same lot, just without having to have any mods. So I know we can do it with mods. I do. I try to minimize the amount of mods I have. I already have over 3 gigabytes worth of mods for this series, which is a lot more than I personally like having. So I don't like playing with mods personally. Like, other than there's certain ones I can't play without, like MC Command Center, necessary. UI cheats mod is now a necessary mod for me. But if I was only allowed to have one mod, I think I would go with MC Command Center. But as long as MC Woohoo and MC Command Center count as one mod, because they're kind of the same thing. Like they're downloadable separately, but I consider them one mod. But yeah, those are like the couple of mods I can't play the game without. Those are pretty much the only things I have in my other series are those mods, and I have like lighting mods, and that's it for my other like main series on my channel right now. For the For Rent series, there we go, that's the word for it. But yeah, I was supposed to do so much editing today and I didn't do it. I say so much. I was supposed to edit the 2 videos I recorded yesterday today, and didn't do it. Didn't have the time. I really regret never downloading the empty maps from different people's, from literally anyone's Patreon that has an empty Sims 4 map, where they've gone through this struggle that takes literal hours to delete every single lot. Or every single, for me, I'm at least trying to delete every single, like, house. I don't care about libraries, I don't care about bars, I don't care about lounges or anything like that. I just want to get rid of all the houses, so all the Sims aren't, like, constantly moving around and stuff. And then, once we get the mod where they only stay in the world they're from, that'll also make it a lot easier. And there won't just be like Sims constantly coming in and coming out of our world. Because in my opinion, that's not realistic. You would have like the same core families in the medieval era, probably living in a village. You wouldn't have like a ton of different families coming in and out all the time. I also need to do a live stream where we dress all the townies. Bare minimum, once we get that mod, all the townies that live in Henford-on-Bagley. I am going to look up which family names are originally in Henford-on-Bagley and see if we can't find those family names and then move them back into all the houses specifically. That'd be great, but because like right now, I think there's like a family from Snowy Escape living there. There's like families that like, don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily care about like having different ethnicities in our game, but as a medieval playthrough, it doesn't make as much sense to not like literally have no one who looks English in a world that's supposed to be England. So like if you get okay, this is your chance to turn away really quick or plug your ears for like 2 or 3 minutes while I talk about the Plague episode. But the Watsons are no longer English looking again. They don't look English anymore. None of the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Watsons survive. So they also, I think all of them look Indian again now. They look, because I'm pretty sure that that's what it was supposed to be, like the ethnicity or like the area, like Southeast Asian or Indian is where some Sims were supposed to come from, which kind of makes sense to an extent. I don't know about for medieval England, but for later on in England's history, it makes sense that there'd be people from that area of the world living there. But yeah, like, so I want to make sure that we actually like move in families that make sense. Or I honestly might do a thing where I just have everybody make families again that we add into the world. And if like those Sims families die off or like die of old age or something without having kids or whatever, I'll just continuously like rotate in and out families. We can always make young adults where I give them medieval makeovers, so that way my Sims have plenty of options as far as marriages go, like young adults and teens primarily. And then, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We're going to need to make another farm. I do want to move the barracks from being in the city to where the park is in the world. I think that'd make a little bit more, I don't know, would barracks be in the city or like more in the forest? I guess that's fair. Shoot, I didn't mean to hit that button. I'm debating where to put the barracks. Like, if I want to keep the barracks in the city or if I want to move them into the forest. Because we could also make that forest area another, like, Witch in the Woods lot type of deal, you know? That could be fun. Or, like, another... Because I want to give as many, like, lots for different families to live on in the world as possible. So there are going to be like a couple of places. There's this one lot that's a community lot right now that is like a little village essentially that one of my old streaming friends made, actually. I don't remember her name. I'd have to like look at the lot and who it was made by again. But huh? She doesn't stream anymore. And we haven't talked to her in like 2 years. Is she the other one who used to do the Ultimate History Challenge specifically? Sam Bam Sims. There we go. How do you remember everybody? Patrick remembers who it is, but Sam Bam Sims, she made for her medieval section of her Ultimate History Challenge, because she did the Ultimate History Challenge, not the Ultimate Decades Challenge. She actually made it to where she had like a little medieval village for that section, and I thought it was really cool. I placed it down in our world. I might honestly keep the shell of it and just make all the houses into actual living spaces for Sims. So yeah, because I think it looks really cool. Something else I just realized is if I need sleeping places for Sims, I could always put sleeping bags down, especially the ones from Horse Ranch. Those would definitely work. The last 2 packs that we've gotten a lot of like wood-based items. And although the exact style of it might not look medieval, they're at least wooden, so they follow the rules, and they do look a bit more rustic if you're going for like a more rustic medieval look. I did not mean to open that. And I think it's great. I'm really hoping that we get like, I heard a couple of people tell me that we were supposed to get a medieval like kit at some point as well. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind a medieval expansion pack. So many Sims 4 players love The Sims Medieval. All The Sims 4 would need to do to take more of our money, if we're being completely honest. If they want to make it a kit, that's fine. Just add all the Sims Medieval items into a kit. I know that's easier said than done, but like literally just update it all for like The Sims 4. You already have the items that you would add in. If you want to do it, make it into 2 kits, you can make a Sims Medieval furniture kit and a clothing kit. There, you can take more of our money. And I promise you, so many people would probably buy that. Sulani was another world I was debating look into a little bit more of a medieval island world or something like that. Because Sulani itself, I personally think you could easily do that with. Just because, like, as long as you stay away, I think, from this main island, these 2 islands, I don't think have any pre-made structures on them. So you don't have to worry about any, like, random community buildings on these 2 islands or, like, structures that wouldn't make sense. The only thing that there might be is, like, buoys around Solani. I'm not 100% sure. I guess we'll see now in a second whenever we go into building everything. And obviously I'd have to get rid of like the actual beaches and stuff. But Solani's another good one. If you want to do like a medieval challenge, but make it more like probably Southeast Asian or something like that. More in the Pacific. This would be, and you don't have like the new pack or anything. but you have Solani, because Solani's an older pack, so I feel like more people might have it. This would be a good world to actually do a medieval challenge in. There's not a lot of like extra structures to my knowledge, what I remember. This is also a good one to do like the Castaway Sim challenge in, obviously, because there's a bunch of islands everywhere. Or because it is like just a collection of islands, and that's the whole world. Like they literally have a boat wreck that came with this. One of the houses is a shipwreck. I'm pretty sure that they did that because of the Castaway Sim challenge. I'm not gonna lie. I've never played that one before. Personally, I don't think I ever will. Because I think the Ultimate Decades challenge is probably the last big legacy challenge I'm doing before The Sims 5 comes out. Mainly because it's gonna take me so long that The Sims 5 will probably be out before I even finish this, technically. At least that's the hope. I honestly hope The Sims 5 is out before I finish this. The Sims 5 is really... Sims 5 is really going to be like the live or die of the Sims franchise, I think. I've heard other people say this before and I agree with it. Because the Sims franchise, they've just like gotten, in a lot of people's opinions, worse and worse, including in my own opinion. I'm upset with some of the changes that they've made, and just the fact that they don't seem to like be listening to community, like the community and stuff at all, to the extent where I don't know that The Sims 5 is going to survive other life simulation games that are coming out. Personally, I honestly think that The Sims 5 might be the final Sims franchise game unless they really step up their game. Literally. They really need to make it like a really good game, I think, for players to stay with The Sims and not go to like other games, for instance, Life by You and stuff like that. Because I'm actually really excited that a bunch of those games are coming out this next year. I want to be trying them out and testing them out. That might be what like our Wednesday videos end up being for, is to test out the different ones whenever they come out and play, like have a playthrough or something. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with those games like at all. I really need to go check them out more. So I'm really excited for them. But I personally haven't really checked into them as much as I probably should, if we're being completely honest. So I definitely need to go and check into them a bit more. Okay, I remember why I ended the stream after 2 hours now. It is a little bit boring for me, myself, and I also to just sit here and delete houses. I know this isn't the most thrilling stream. I understand. But we're here partially to talk about the series, to talk about our thoughts. This is also, for me, it's a nice palate cleanser, and it helps me to actually set aside time to work on my Sims 4 world. Something else that is hopefully, crossing our fingers, happening somewhat soon is I am going to be getting an actual, like, in-person job again. So that means I'll probably... I just did it again. I hit the wrong button again. Now it's... Anyways, I'm gonna hopefully have an in-person job sometime in the near future. And with that means that I probably will have like slightly less time to be specifically for streams. I won't be able to be as like willy-nilly with streams and recordings and videos and stuff. I will have to like get things done on the days I schedule myself to get things done. Otherwise, that week there won't be a video, or that week there won't be a stream, like something like that, you know? So, yeah, I need to really work on getting like a backlog eventually of videos and streams. Not to mention that we're going to be out of town. It's only going to be for a weekend, so I guess that'll only affect like streams really in this like month. So won't be too bad. I might be missing like one Ultimate Decades video, which what's new with that? I miss so many Ultimate Decades videos right now because it's a really it's a really taxing challenge to film, okay? But we'll probably be missing an Ultimate Decades video and all streams that weekend. Honestly, they're depending on when I guess I could probably record. I just need to make sure I get a week ahead this next week. So that way I can be a week ahead for the rest of this month, hopefully. So that way, if I'm a week ahead for the rest of the month, I will have all the videos done for the week that we're gone by the time we're gone. Which will be the goal. So we're gonna cross our fingers. Hope I can manage to do that. We'll see, because I really suck at getting ahead, because I like asking people, like, but what do you think we should do? Like, so often, like, we could do this or this, but what do you think? You know, like, I like asking people who are watching my videos, and I feel like all of my series are so involved as well with other people, with like the viewers of the series, that I don't like recording them super far in advance. I like recording my videos like the week that they're coming out, or like within a week from them coming out. So it's gonna be weird to get a week ahead. But I think that's gonna be my goal for this week, is to try and get a week ahead on videos. So that way we can actually have everything be good, be done, and not be missing a bunch of videos here in a couple of weeks. Also, so that tomorrow, I think you're not streaming tomorrow, are you, Patrick? Monday? So tomorrow I am probably going to be streaming again. My plan for Monday streams was like a Sims 4 build stream. That's not to do with the Ultimate Decades Challenge, most likely. It might be at some point, but for right now, it's not going to be. So that way I can make a speed build out of whatever we build on stream. That's like my idea behind it. And that's what I think will work the best, is if I can make a speed build out of whatever we build on stream, so people can either watch the speed build, or they can pop into the stream and watch the build be built in real time, which is going to be very, very clumsy. And I am not little Simsy or anyone when it comes to building. I don't build often enough to know the catalog as well as they do. I will like watch a little Simsy stream or something when she's building, and like, I am literally in disbelief whenever I'm watching her build, because I genuinely don't know how someone can memorize where literally everything is and literally what everything is called. I just don't get it. I don't know how she does it. It's insane to me. I also want to learn how to make those really aesthetic looking build videos where you like set the key points and then like you take screenshots, so that way like after you place down an item it like appears and stuff like that. I would also love to learn how to do that, because I have absolutely no idea how to do those like aesthetic looking build videos for The Sims 4. I'd like to use those for like the social media post versions of whatever I'm building. I think that would be great. But I honestly think what they do is, people who build like that, I feel like have to be really confident in their placement of items. I feel like I move stuff around so much. I don't know that I could do build videos like that, honestly. Because like, once they place down an item, it's placed down, otherwise that screenshot's not going to necessarily work. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess my screenshots could just show the progression of things being moved around too. A little bit less aesthetic, but it'll be practical. It's more of my build style, where it's very chaotic and I just kind of throw things around until it looks good to me. That's how I feel like I build. Sometimes I'll find an item and be like, oh my gosh, I need this item, but now I need to move around everything else to fit this item in. And that's why I don't know if it would work for me doing it in that way, because I'm pretty sure it's just essentially like a photo collage and then the video of the camera moving to that angle. But does anyone know how to do those? I'm sure there's tutorials on YouTube on how to make them. I'm sure someone's had to have used it, because what is it called, like the CapCut video, or what is it called on The Sims whenever they do like the movies or films on The Sims and stuff? Machinimas. CapCut. I'm thinking of something completely different. Oh, that looks weird. Oh, okay, it's because that was weird. That was a weird lighting glitch. But yeah, the machinimas and stuff as well. I'm always just like so impressed by those. I think they look so good. And I don't understand how people do those. I really don't. Like, it's not even like necessarily that you have to be the one to animate things either. Most of the time, I imagine, it's just like people are really good at getting camera angles that they want and getting their Sims to actually do what they want for different things. I'm just not super creative as far as like the writing aspect of stuff and storylines goes. I struggle with that a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. My script writing class I had to take in college was probably my least favorite class that I had to take for my major. Either that one or the documentary class. In the documentary class, it wasn't because I disliked documentaries. I love documentaries. I just didn't like the teacher. But I think the script writing class was the class that like just hurt my brain way too much. I literally could not with that class. And so like, whenever I'm trying to come up with ideas and storylines and stuff for The Sims, it takes me a long time and they're very wishy-washy. And I'm just really bad at like settling on a storyline. But also whenever like I'm making the videos themselves, I feel like I'm always like essentially in a constant improv mode. Because it just, otherwise it doesn't work. Hello, Sherlock Holmes 94. Welcome on in. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. It's not an exciting stream, I'm sorry. We are just kind of doing world maintenance for our Ultimate Decades Challenge, which right now involves going through every other single world and deleting every single house so Sims aren't constantly like moving around through the worlds and stuff like that. Because that's been bothering me. I'd rather have like some core families stick in my world. I am also going to get another mod to help with that because we are going to have eventually more than one world where Sims live in. But yeah, like this island, I feel like this island could totally be like a medieval island right here. Yeah, because this one you don't really, I mean, you can still see like houses with glass and modern lights to an extent. But I feel like you could totally do like a medieval thing stuff like on Sulani. So I think Sulani is one where I do want to have some sort of form of medieval something going on. I'll probably just make it like a medieval Hawaii, but I don't know if like, I honestly don't even know if like, if there really was a presence in like the world stage for Hawaii in the medieval era. I don't know what other country I could do. I could probably do some other country too, other than like Hawaii, because it was a country. So, I also don't know how good I would be at coming up with Hawaiian names, because I don't know how their naming conventions work. Let's be honest, I don't really know how naming conventions work for anywhere but like English-speaking countries and Spanish-speaking countries. Those are about it. Otherwise, I am completely lost. Good. I'm glad that you're doing good, Sherlock. I do think I need to change out my water cup really, really soon, because I do taste like a funny taste in it again. And the last time I tasted a funny taste, granted it was basically undrinkable at the point where I stopped drinking it, but there was mold in my cup. So I think I need to wash my cup again, because it's starting to taste a little bit just off. It doesn't taste quite right now. And we don't like drinking mold. Make sure you guys wash your cups too, because I have a bad habit of just not washing my cups often enough. I'll usually wash them like once a week for my water cups, and it's not okay. But that's usually not long enough for mold to really start growing in them. Just a little bit, you know, just a tiny bit. Probably so bad for my health, but you know, things happen. But yeah, especially because these bridges are like all wooden and stuff like that, and they just kind of like look like wooden docks or something. Yeah. We can do something with Sulani. I don't know if I'll do anything soon. It's definitely not on the top of my priority list to have like Asian countries necessarily, since we're using Hemfordon Bagley as our mainstay country. Because I don't really know, beyond the Silk Road, when did like European countries really truly come in contact with Asian countries? It wasn't until like around when they discovered America, right? Or like when they finally landed on America. Like when did English people meet Japanese people essentially? Because I know Japan is one that we're definitely going to be doing with the Snowy Escape world. I feel like that's not until at least the 1500s. I don't have to worry about that for a while if I do want to introduce it. I'm not saying that I have to introduce it. Huh? 14. Okay. So It's like 50 years before Marco Polo. Or before Christopher Columbus, I should say. My bad. That's not, yeah, so it's about the same time that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. In 1492. Okay, cool. So whenever, because I personally don't want to have to worry about an entire other world and doing roles and stuff for them until, like, because Hemford on Bagley is based on English people. I think that we're going to make the get-together world. I'm still going back and forth between France and Germany. I very specifically think I was going to do it as Normandy because there's a castle, I believe it's in Normandy, which is current modern day France, but it was back and forth between France and England for a long time. But there is a Normandy castle that is on like an island. I need to figure out what castle that is again, because I have forgotten. That has been lost to my brain. But I want to build a castle on the island and get together, and I think it'll look so cool. So I think we're gonna call it Normandy, just so that way I don't have to decide on a specific country, because Normandy, like, we're gonna make it modeled after that part of the world. Because Normandy is has Normandy ever been an actual country? I don't know if it has. I think it maybe was at some, like, it was a kingdom at some point, but I don't think it was ever like self-ruling for a very long time. I think usually either France or England always had control over it. Okay, we're almost done. We have 2 more houses in this world, and then we'll be moving on to the next world. And that will be 2 worlds done within an hour, which is actually not terrible. I can't believe we're already 43 minutes into the stream. That itself boggles my mind. I cannot believe that we are that far into the stream already. Oh my goodness. Again, I'm sorry to everybody who is like popping in and out, and we're literally just deleting lots. I promise maintenance streams won't always be the same. Eventually, I'm hoping that this will be the last maintenance stream. I think tonight we're just going to keep streaming, so it should take me less than 4 hours. But I think tonight we're going to just keep streaming until I've deleted all of the different lots. Normandy never had its own sovereignty. Okay. So maybe we'll model it after, like, French Normandy or something. Although I think Normandy was part of England for a lot long, like, in the medieval ages. I don't know the timeline of Normandy and it's, like, which country ruled it and stuff. I've never played on any of these lots. But yeah, this portion of this world I think could also definitely be, like, yeah, this could definitely be, like, a medieval world. What is that, though? That bathroom is the only issue, but everything else, like, you could totally do a medieval challenge in Solani. I don't know what country you'd necessarily make it past Hawaii, because it's like such a specific world to be like Hawaiian culture, I believe, that at least I'm 99% Solani's Hawaiian culture based. If I'm wrong about that, I'm gonna be feeling really dumb. But so I don't know what country, like what other country I could even think of. Like, I don't know what other country has like islands and sandy beaches. Maybe Indonesia or the Philippines. Past that, I can't really think of many other places. Very volcanic. Oh, also, when I was trying to figure out how to edit who the next in line for the throne would be for our Ultimate Decades family, or for the Watson family, I found out there's actually 2 other royals somewhere already in our world. And I don't know which worlds they're from, but there's apparently 2 of them. There's a woman and there's another man who are a queen and a king. And I think specifically of 2 different worlds. Who knows, at this point I might have already deleted them from their home world, but yeah. Solani is in fact Polynesian. Did you just Google it? I guess there's been a couple of different Polynesian countries too, because like there's the Kingdom of Hawaii. Isn't Polynesia itself just a modern day country? No, because I thought that there were. So I know New Zealand is considered Polynesian. I'm pretty sure Polynesia itself is its own country. Oh, it just says it's a sub-region of Oceania. Samoa, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. Samoa and New Zealand. Because I knew New Zealand was like a Polynesian country, but I didn't know the specifics of all that. Huh? Polynesia? That's crazy. 1,000 islands? That's insane. I guess there's a lot of small islands in the Pacific, though. Come on, we just gotta delete a couple more worlds. How many more worlds do we have? How many worlds are there in The Sims 4? We've deleted 2 so far from today's stream. Again, I'm probably just gonna be streaming until I delete all of them. Because I was planning on a 4-hour stream anyways. So if it's a little bit less than 4 hours, perfect. If not, then oh well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 worlds. I'm probably going to be leaving. I guess we'll delete the houses still in Tartosa, because Tartosa is going to be a world. Henford on Bagley, Mount Komorebi, that's what the world is called. Those 3 are going to be, I guess Mount Komorebi will come in a little bit later, because not until like the late 1400s. But also, we're going to do Windenburg. I wish that there was a way that you could reorder the worlds that you're actively playing in. Wouldn't it? It's like I can move those 4 worlds all up next to each other or something. But I think all the rest of the worlds are a little bit too modern. Other than that, so we're probably not going to be messing with them. I wonder if Glimmerbrook... Would Glimmerbrook... No, I don't think it would be. I was thinking about using Glimmerbrook as like a pioneer type of world. Like maybe it could be a world where they're like, as they're moving across America, because eventually I want to have our Sims move to America, because it's just the natural thing to do, you know? It'll be a lot easier for me to start following American culture once the United States is discovered. And I feel like it'd be fun to like have our family eventually be part of like our version of like Jamestown and stuff like that. At that point, they go from normal, just, I guess technically we would be, no, I don't think it would technically be considered like a plantation right now, but we could do like a plantation type of thing, maybe with part of our family or something. I'm trying to figure out what worlds would work best for that too, because I do eventually want our families to move like north to south, east to west, stuff like that, you know? Like just have parts of our family in different areas. Granted, we need a big enough family to be able to do that. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. I don't think that this one would work, mostly because of the road that's in this world. I don't quite like it. I know the horse ranch world will definitely work when we're doing like the Oregon Trail type of deal and like that kind of stuff. Let's go back to managed worlds, so we'll probably only live in some of these worlds for probably like 10 years or so. And we'll say that they're like our camping areas while we're like, say like on the Oregon Trail. Granted, the Oregon Trail I think didn't take years. It only took like 9 months, 10 months, something like that to cross. Yeah. Huh? The Oregon Trail existed for a while, but the duration for them to actually cross it. Yeah, I believe it was only a few months, but we could have them like live there for an episode, which in that case would be a full year, and then have them move on or something. Do a lot of different roles for deaths and stuff as like the different families decide to move through the Oregon Trail. and stuff like that. We'll figure that out. That we're so far away from that. That's not happening for literally like 500 years in the game. Because I'm planning on staying in Hemford-on-Bagley until I need to look up when like Jamestown was founded and stuff like that, or Plymouth. I don't know. We'll probably be moving in the mid 1500s, so we still have like 200 years here at the moment in the same world, and then we'll probably have our Sims move worlds. You know what? We might use Solani when we're like quote unquote crossing the ocean. We might build like a boat or something in one of the lots. In one of the water lots. It's like Little Simsy, for example. Like I keep going back to Little Simsy. She built like a cruise ship. And that was really cool. So we could build like a ship that can carry up to, let's say, 6 families. Or maybe 5 families. And then one of the families will be like the crew of the ship or something. And they'll have to live on that ship for, again, probably like a year as they're crossing the ocean per family. I feel like stuff like that would be kind of fun to do to make it seem a little bit more like real life. So I'll have to make sure whatever lot has the least like land around it and Solani doesn't get built on. Because I don't think there's no other worlds that have partial water. No, never mind. We couldn't do that because you can't build on lots with water. Okay, so we'd have to build on a land lot, but we could we could build the house in the middle of a pool. Or something. Patrick's over there just laughing so hard. Because we could build it in the middle of a lake on like a large lot. Because I always forget that, like, as of right now at least, I'm really hoping that they patch this maybe for the next expansion pack or whatever. But as of right now, we can't like build multifamily lots on lots with water, which I think is so dumb. I think it's so dumb. I hate it so much right now. Because I'm like, there's so many things. Like, I would love to build something like a ship for some of the story aspects of this series, but we currently can't build on lots with water, which I think, like I said, Solani. I don't know of any other lots that are on water other than the ones in Solani. But even if we were in Solani, we could pretend like there's no palm trees in the background. If they were crossing like the English Channel or something like that. Because that would also be fun if like for an episode, if like royals were visiting other countries or they're sending their like ambassadors or something, we could have them like live on a ship and then do like a dice roll on the ship or something, you know? I might still build some form of a ship and just just put it on a random lot in a random world somewhere and call it good. Something I'm really like something that would be really cool is if they added a water lot in Brindleton Bay. So I think Brindleton Bay is most likely where we're going to build our first like New England colonies, possibly. I just think Brindleton Bay would be a cool place to do it. But I don't know, Brindleton Bay, I have to think of some other places because I was also thinking maybe the vampire. Oh, this world. Okay, these are the residential. Are werewolves immortal, or how long are werewolf lifespans? They can be immortal. It's a perk. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I need to revisit the werewolves pack. Maybe that can be like a mini series for Wednesdays as well or something. I just have so many things I want to do. It's a real issue. Okay, and all of these other like housing, I don't believe I need to delete like university housing. Because I don't believe it matters if I delete it. Is this university kind of like a British? I've never gone to this university before. So I know that this one is very modern looking. I would be very curious if this one looks a little bit more historical. Because I wouldn't mind sending some of our Sims to like university or something at some point. I do think that would be really cool. I guess we could always rebuild the lots to look a little bit more like century or decade appropriate. Maybe we could put down like the book computers and stuff, just so that way there's not like computers. We can have like a library with book computers rather than modern day computers. Because in the future, I wouldn't mind sending some of our Sims to university. I do, before our family does move to the Americas, I would like to have a branch of our family that does stay in Europe, whether it be in Henford-on-Bagley or in any of the different worlds. I do want to have a part of our family that stays there, so that way we can still like come back to a couple of different worlds every once in a while. And we can maybe see, did the European family survive? Did the American family survive? Like, also just in case part of the family doesn't survive. Because we always need backups in this game, let me tell you. Especially after what happened with the plague, I'm really glad that some Sims world to have literally 12 children. Because of those 12 children, in some families, not many survived. I did roll for Hele, because apparently we forgot to age up Hele. I won't tell you guys what happens to Hele yet, because that's gonna be a spoiler for literally the episode coming out tomorrow. But we did do the age up for Hele finally, and I apparently missed her birthday by like 2 years, just like I missed Aoife's and Arne's birthday by literally like almost 10 years. That one I was really surprised by. I was really glad that they were at least young adults going to adults, so that way like me missing it by that much wasn't like the end of the world. Because I can't believe that I missed their birthdays by like almost 10 years. That's insane. I like really kicked myself for that one. I was a little bit upset at myself. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Oh, you broke it. I appreciate it. I think that was for YouTube. I'm assuming that's for YouTube. Yeah, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. It had the word subscribe, not follow. So I appreciate it. Welcome on. And if you're in the stream, I hope you have a fantastic time, a fantastic stay. I promise you my actual videos are a lot more entertaining than me just deleting builds. Most of my videos aren't me just deleting builds. This is just for a stream, so that way I make myself work. If I stream it, I will actually do it. And I figured if people want to pop in and have conversations, it's always a fun time too. So something else I've been really getting into recently, and I think that this series is partially to blame, is D&D. I haven't actually played it yet, but I've watched so many videos about it recently that I'm like, okay, I really need to play this at some point. But yeah, does this not look like it could be like, oh my goodness, like downtown for like a bigger city, say like London or Old New York or something? So we could, yeah, no, this university we're definitely going to use. Wait, there's castle ruins in this world? You can tell I've never really. Oh my gosh. This is really cool. I did not know that there were castle ruins in this world. I really need to like take proper inspiration from some castle ruins. Because like I looked up a floor plan of a castle for our current castle that we have. Our current castle that we have is probably going to get remodeled like 10 times because I want to do different castles. But yeah. Our current castle is not as grandiose as I would have liked it to be. Was that the last house in this world? I think that was. But I'm gonna go and take a break. So everyone get up, move around, get food, get water, do what you need to do. And I will be back in about 5 minutes or less. We'll see. But yeah, get up, move around, get food, get water. Do what you guys need to do. I just need to make sure that I try to take a break once every hour so I can get up and stuff. But also, I take the break so that way on Twitch we can run the 3-minute ads. That way there's not ads for the rest of the hour. And it's better to do it while I'm gone anyways, right? Right. I will see you guys all back in just a few. Okay, y'all, welcome back to Mayak. Welcome back to the stream. I promise you, there is a puppy right there. He is just the same color as the pillow and the blanket behind him. He's a tortilla dog, you know. Not really. Anyways, we're now in Evergreen Harbor. I forgot that there was a map for Evergreen Harbor from like the mod that I got that changes all the maps to be historical looking. Let's evict. Oh, these apartments I might not worry about. Because I can't delete apartments. I know I skipped over the entirety of like every world that had apartments beforehand. I skipped over. So yeah, whenever we see apartments, we're not gonna worry about them. If there's apartments that Sims are living in, all the more power to them. I'm not gonna evict them from the apartments themselves. But every other like house is getting evicted. So Sims either have to live in apartments or in one of the worlds that we are going to have for them to live in. Okay, yeah, that's another apartment unit. Which apparently there's no one living in those apartments. There we go. And let's delete these Sims. This will be like a really good world for like New England, I think, once it would be like in the industrial era. Although it also might look too modern. I do want to use the werewolves world at some point as well. That world might be a really good world to actually use for the Oregon Trail as well. Huh? Yeah. Because I also like I think that one would be a good one. We could also do like a small like outpost town or something there. Maybe that's how we'll do the Oregon Trail every single. Like we'll do like one day long rental properties in different worlds. So it's like different camping spots essentially that they have to stay in for a couple of different worlds throughout the episode, or like 2 days long. Oh no, this is a little bit too modern, huh? Ooh, I like that. This is another world I've never really played in, so I have no idea what it looks like. Yeah, this is way too modern. Okay, never mind. I take back everything I said earlier. I don't think this one's usable for the ideas that I had. I really need to like... Okay, I might need to make like a short lifespan legacy. Short lifespan like legacy challenge at some point. Like Little Simsy does. I just copy Little Simsy for everything. It's fine. Just copy bigger YouTubers and streamers than me. But I like getting ideas from people, okay, and putting my own twist on it. But I do think I need at some point do like a short legacy challenge, so that way I can actually play through all the packs properly. Like I was doing the Not So Berry challenge, but that takes so long. And I feel like whenever I'm doing challenges like Not So Berry, I'm constantly stressing out about like if my sim actually does the whole collection, or if my sim is actually wearing this color. If my, like, you know, like just stuff like that. Like I get so obsessed over just that aspect of it that eventually I give up on the challenge because it's too stressful for me. So I think what I in all reality just need to do is do a short lifespan legacy. So that way I don't have my Sims for very long. I'm not allowed to get too attached to them. And a lot of the series would probably just be me building and stuff for them. But also with the short lifespan, you don't have as much time to build up so much wealth. Because something else that I've noticed with the history challenge as well as with the... or with Ultimate Decade challenges as well as with just like any legacy challenge, is I feel like your Sims start to build up wealth really, really, really quickly. And it's almost like just too fast. Like it's almost to the point where... I don't know if I like it. I feel like your Sims shouldn't be able to build up wealth so quickly in some of these in some of these things. It doesn't feel right to me to be able to build up our wealth so fast. Like in one generation, we could accumulate and save over 100,000 simoleons. And then our next generation basically doesn't have to work if we don't want them to. It's like, and stuff like that. I do sometimes too kind of wish that there was like an inheritance setup for The Sims, like where we can make a will in the game. We honestly just need an update that's like the death update. I don't know a better way to say that. But like an update where they add cemetery lots, they add funerals, maybe they make ghosts a little bit more functional, like the Sims 3 ghosts, or we could actually have like ghost children and stuff like that, like where they're actually properly built out as what are they called, Patrick? If they're not just normal Sims, they're called occults. There we go. Like, if they did a ghost occult pack, I would not be upset if they added like cemeteries, a bit more to the like ghosts themselves, like where instead of just being base game ghosts, they're fully fleshed out occult Sims as well. Maybe they could also add zombies, so that way there's an extra cult that like won't make people upset that they're basically just doing a pack that should be base game. I don't know. I just every Simmer says this. I hate how greedy the EA team has been with The Sims 4. It costs so much money to stay up to date with everything, and then also to like know that your game's gonna break literally every single time they update something. It's just kind of aggravating because it's not like it's not like I spent $60 for a game and it breaks every few updates. That's different. With The Sims, it's like I have spent over $1,000 on a game and it breaks every update after I just spent an extra $40. You know, like it's just, that's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me with The Sims, personally. And just how much it breaks, how much money we've spent on it, most people have spent on it if you have everything. Because it's literally like collecting a game. Like, it's like a collection. Oh, it's entirely... What do you mean it's unplayable right now? It won't let you what? What? It won't let you go between worlds? You literally just can't travel right now? I mean, if you were doing your... That's the only thing you could really play right now is your, yeah, like a bunker type of challenge or something. Apocalypse challenge. That's what I was trying to say. Because that one you can't travel in anyways yet. But that's insane. That, like... I haven't heard of that bad of a broken game from anyone yet. It still won't work. Have you tried going into a new save? Because what are you trying to do right now in that one? Okay, I was gonna say maybe it's just that specific save file is corrupted for whatever reason. It is. That's why I literally save the Ultimate Decades as a new save file every single, like, year of the game. So that way, like, this one will be saved as a separate save. I should probably actually save here in a second. It's just, like, maintenance stream. I'm actually gonna do that right now. I should probably at least save once an hour, right? But, yeah, like... The Sims, why can't you just work? I feel like that's everyone's just, like, message to the Sims team, to the EA team. Just work. Just make a game that doesn't crash all the time. Also, I'm not gonna lie. If I had the money, I would totally hire someone to manage my mods folder for me at this point. Because I literally cannot with it. Like, I don't want to get rid of any of my mods right now because I need to make sure I have screenshots of all the Sims I want to have screenshots for my family tree. So I'm gonna have to do this like after I make my family's tree. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. The thing I'm drinking right now has some carbonation in it, I think. I was not expecting that. But yeah, I think I need to do the family tree, which is probably going to be our next maintenance stream, is getting all of like our paperwork in order for this game, for this thing, because I love having the Google Sheets doc. I'm gonna start making that public to everyone with just like my actual Sheets doc where no one can edit it but me, but you can view it if you guys want to. Because I've been missing so many like birthdays and things like that, and if other people who are into the series had access to it, they could like leave me a comment like, hey, you missed a birthday last year. Like, I know in tomorrow's episode I am going to technically miss a birthday, but that's because I accidentally aged her up. It's for Petra. I aged up Petra in the plague video and I just cut it out because I realized I wasn't supposed to do it in the plague video, but then I forgot to mention that in yesterday's video. So you just don't see Petra age up again, which Petra as a witch, she's kind of just immortal. Like she can still die from stuff like the plague and things like that. And I still need to figure out a proper system for things like witch hunts and the witch trials and things. But I do think like I need to figure out a better system for like occult sims, which will probably be another maintenance stream, is us coming up with roles for occult sims. Because I also want to add in werewolves. I think we're going to try to like search for all the werewolves families, or like I'll have you guys just make new werewolf families for me, so that way they're not immortal. And make werewolves that we can add into like the Greece inspired world that we're going to have for the medieval world. So I guess we'll probably be doing that whenever we start building those up, which are hopefully going to be in a couple of maintenance streams, because I think that's what we're primarily going to be using maintenance streams for, is for things like family tree, for things like building, and stuff like that. So after this one, the next maintenance stream next week will probably be more towards the family tree side of things. I need to figure out what website it was or app or whatever that I need to get for that. And I'm really hoping that I don't have to pay for it. That was the one thing I did like about Plumtree app. I honestly don't have money to be paying for just to have a family tree somewhere. So I'm trying to find something that's free, and I think the thing that they said was free. The thing that sucks is when I found it, it was December 2nd when I found this video about this other website that you can do it. And this website, I think, worked with the creators of like the Plumtree app or something, where you could transfer your family trees to that website. And obviously I didn't know that until after Plumtree had already shut down. So I was very upset about that. I was like, what the heck? Oh, also, something else about Sims Worlds that really bothers me now, ever since I saw someone else bring it up, is the fact that I feel like, so like something that a lot of people are talking about with our Sims World that we have right now, like the new one with Tomarani, is that there's so many empty buildings. But as we've been going through and deleting these houses and stuff, there's a lot of Sims 4 worlds that are like that. Like, the city is built up around us, but so many of them are just like unplayable, empty buildings and lots and things. Something else, like another aspect of The Sims 4 that I really dislike compared to, I'm pretty sure all of the previous Sims games. I might be wrong, correct me if I am, if you guys are in stream right now. But I believe that a lot of the other previous Sims games, we could just place down our own lots and build there. Like, I know for a lot of my Sims 3 stuff, I used to always do that in The Sims 3. Like, you could just place down a lot of different sizes along roads or whatever, and then you could build on them. And there you go, you have a new lot to build on. So you could really, like, really customize your worlds that way. And I just... I really wish that we could do that in The Sims 4. Like, I would love to be able to place the lot just, like, literally on the water for some of the worlds. Like, if we could just place a lot on the water in Brindleton Bay, like, in the dock area, and then we could build a ship there, that'd be so perfect for our series right now. Or even in, like, the Get Together world. I always forget what the name of that world is because I never play in it. In the Get Together world, if we place down a lot there, that would also be just like so perfect. And we could just have it in the water and then we can build a ship and the dock and everything. But no, we can't do stuff like that in The Sims 4, and it bothers me a little bit. I would love to be able to just place down lots in like empty expanses of the world and then be able to delete like whatever items or place down there just for, you know, decoration from debug and build our own lot there. Like that'd be perfect. I loved that about The Sims 3. The Sims 3, I will say the Sims 3 worlds did typically tend to feel a little bit more empty and stuff like that. Like, especially like when you were in the suburb area instead of like the city area. But since you could do stuff like that where you could build up more houses and stuff, you could really, really make the worlds fit your own like aesthetic, your own way of wanting it to be. But yeah, see, here's Mount Komorambi. I don't think this lower portion we're going to be using for the medieval portion of it because I believe that this is like a little bit more modern, like in the city. I don't know. We'll have to see now here in a second. I'm really hoping that Komorebi we can utilize. I believe that like the areas on the slopes we can definitely use. We can always change things like this point to be like a lot with housing and stuff. And if there's only 2 lots that I really like, we can always just use the 2 lots for the entire world, make one of them for like the royal family of the world, and then make the other lot a residential rental. So that way we can have like a ton of, like we can have up to 6 different families on that lot. As long as we can figure out how to build like a appropriate looking house on it. But that's also something that I figured out in this game that's kind of annoying. There's not a lot of lots that are big. Like this one right here, I think is a 64 by 64. This is a 50 by 50, which is like the biggest in The Sims 4, right? Yeah, okay. Because like in The Sims 3, I remember 64 by 64 was the biggest. But okay, let's go and come down here. We'll look around in this section of the world. My dreams might be slashed really quickly if Mount Komorambi looks way too modern. Like Tomarang, I think we could possibly make a Southeast Asian country in Tomarang. If we built specifically near the tiger sanctuary in that world, for like 2 or 3 different lots. But a lot of the lots also show off of very modern looking builds and stuff like that, very modern looking buildings. So it's really hard. That's one thing I do love about Hemford Bagley. Although the housing and the town center and stuff don't exactly look specifically like medieval, it's still like Tudor, which is like the 1500s, like very much so a Tudor-esque style. So I think that's fine. And I quite like it, for being completely honest. But, you know, ooh, actually this lot right here. Okay. Oh my, okay, see, if we don't look this way, we just don't look in this direction, we pretend none of that exists. But if we just look like in this direction, this would make a really cool, like, royal, like, emperor's lot. Again, also ignore the fact that there's, like, these pathways and stuff here that are, like, more modern. But if you, like, ignore the modern stuff, then this would be, like, a really cool spot to build for the medieval. Okay, let's go ahead. I keep hitting the wrong button and it's bothering me. I did it again. I really wish I could just bulldoze the lots from the map. Like, why is that not a feature? Why is that not a feature where I can just bulldoze the lots from the map view? If it's a feature and everybody's just been laughing at me when they've been coming in and out of the stream, someone please tell me. I would really appreciate it if I found out that, like, you could bulldoze lots from this view instead. Like, I'm really surprised that it's not, like, on these, but I guess you could accidentally do it probably too easily, if we're being completely honest. When you're just trying to load into a different house. I could also see that being a thing I do often, is accidentally trying to load into a house and then bulldozing a lot. I've done stuff like that before, that's for sure. We've already been going for 1 hour and 24 minutes. Can y'all believe it? I don't know that I can. Because it feels like, I feel like this goes by really fast, but then I look at how long we've been streaming and I'm like, oh, no, these loading screens last a minute. Which is why I get so upset every time I accidentally click the wrong button and enter into a new loading screen. It's like the worst thing ever, I swear. Ooh, something I just realized that I had for The Sims 4 in the last video that I uploaded is we actually have hot tubs that up your hygiene that come from, it's just like a modded version of hot tubs that look like barrels and stuff. So like Sims don't have to get fully nude in them, so they won't like be cautious if there's other Sims around them because they're a hot tub. And then it'll also get our hygiene up while they're sitting in the hot tub. So I think that we're actually going to be replacing a lot of our bathtubs with those because they're a lot larger than the bathtubs that we have currently for the challenge. But I think it'll just work a lot better because a lot of my builds right now for the medieval era are very much so not private because that's just how it was in the era. Is you didn't have a lot of like your own private space and stuff like that. Like you had houses with one room, or you would have like maybe 2 or 3, like, you know, you wouldn't have a lot of different spaces. Like I feel like with our current like farmhouse, we're being pretty like gracious with the different amounts of rooms that are in that house. Like I don't feel like there would typically, okay, good, that is a house we can delete. So then it will look a little bit better if that's just like an empty lot or like a garden or something in front of this build for a medieval version of it. But yeah, I personally feel like it's a little bit interesting thinking about that because yeah, I don't know. Our first medieval house that we first started off with our Ultimate Decades challenge, that one had a different, like it had I think 3 different bedrooms. It had a main living space, a bathroom, it had a pantry. It was a lot of different rooms. And the more research I did into medieval houses and stuff like that, I realized like that was not the norm to have that many different like individual rooms. So like for like a peasant house, for like a peasant farmhouse. So we changed it. And I don't know, right now I feel like we don't have enough privacy. But also a lot of like peasant houses doubled as kind of like a barn if they were farmers and stuff like that. And everything. I do also eventually just want to... Oh my gosh. I'm making this take so much longer by hitting the wrong button. Again, if anyone knows how to bulldoze from the map view, please tell me. Because I'm dying a little bit. I should just look at... is there a way to... I don't think there is. I think if there is, it's definitely with a mod. Maybe it's a cheat I can type in where I can just bulldoze. All I know is that'd make me so much easier. There we go. But I also found out recently in castles I've watched random history videos and stuff like all the time. But I found out recently from a video I was watching, so I'm not going to say it was the most reliable source because again, videos, people get sources from anywhere and I don't always double check them. But a lot of like medieval castles and stuff like that, the specific example that they were talking about was they were debunking the fact that people were saying Versailles had like pee and poop all over the place and stuff like that. And that it was disgusting. First off, Versailles was built on a marsh, I believe. So it was already kind of stinky just in and of itself like that. And then also, like a lot of people had dogs that they didn't really care where they used the restroom at. So, you know, like apartment complexes, like if you live in an apartment complex that has pets and they're really bad about picking up their pet poop and stuff like that, that's probably like what Versailles smelt like if we're being completely honest. No world option for bulldozing according to Ultimate Sims Guide. That's so annoying. How is that not a feature in the game? Like, I wish it was a feature that we could turn on and off. So that way, like, you don't accidentally do it. But if you want to, you could, you know? Like, I personally just think that that would make sense. Like, in The Sims. I don't know. Like, just give me a bulldoze option. It's not that hard, Sim. It's not that hard to give me a few extra options, you know? You know? Also, thank you if anyone else who subscribed on YouTube is currently in here. I appreciate you and thank you. Because I just saw that I'm at 562 and I appreciate it. Okay. This is the area I thought that we'd be able to use, but now looking at it, there looks like there's a lot of modern houses in this section. So I think, yeah, we're gonna probably use these two houses right here. This will probably be like these two, and then we can probably use the ones up here, like the lots near the snowboarding and skiing areas. Because I also like there's like temples and stuff here that we can go to, and there's like I've been watching a lot of like Erin stuff, and she always talks about how she loves whenever there's like hints of religion just in the Sims itself. Like, and it's not for any specific religions or anything, but they usually try to go with like the appropriate religion for the cultures, like with items and stuff like that that would come from those religions, even if it's like the Simified version of it to make it not that religion specifically, but it represents it. So yeah, I think it's really cool whenever we have stuff like that. And I know this one has like, I believe that there's areas where we can place down offerings and stuff like that in this world. Like there's some shrines and stuff around that we can place some stuff. Oh no, we definitely can't. I also have a mod that retextures some things. So like, look at how that looks. I don't know what mod it is. I want to get rid of it because it's kind of bothering me. Because it makes it look more like alpha textures, and I hate alpha textures so much. No, yeah, we definitely couldn't use this area for medieval. Okay, yeah, we can use that other area, and then we can probably use up by the snow for medieval like era Japan, and then we can use the rest of this later on. Dang, that's annoying. But yeah, I have no idea what mod caused for the texturing differences. Another mod I want to uninstall and reinstall is the royalty mod again, because when I installed it this last time, it installed it with all of the files individually into like my main mods folder. Like it didn't make a subfolder for that just said royalty mod or something on it. It just directly installed it all into there because I use the Sims 4 mod manager currently to try to help me manage my mods, and I feel like it's actually made my mods folder more messy. Because it tends to not like to put things in subfolders like at all. So it'll just drop the script files and stuff like that, script and package files or whatever, just directly into your main folder. Which script files I believe can be one folder deep for your mods folder, and then package files I think can be up to 2. Don't quote me on that. I'm not super good with mods in The Sims 4, obviously. But I think that that's how it works. But yeah, I feel like I said, I wish I could have someone who could just go through my mods folder for me. Because I don't want to do it. It's so much work. Because like, I don't know of a good way to do it. Because like, I can't see what every item is. So like, I know for a fact there's some clothing items right now that are fully glitched out in my game. For example, an item that's fully glitched out in my game still is Grim. I can't get the medieval Grim costume to work, which really bothers me. So I think that I'm gonna get rid of that mod again and just say that when Grim appears, Grim is just like a time traveling entity. So of course he has a tablet. And which is something that makes him more magical to the medieval Sims, maybe. You know, like that makes sense, right? That Grim would be like an entity that doesn't necessarily stay in one time period. He'd time travel, like, you know? And then, yeah, I don't know. Because like, I can't get the Grim override to work. I've like uninstalled it and reinstalled it so many times, and it bothers me that it never works. It truly does. Grim would use the time objects that makes his job easiest. Exactly. So maybe one day he's scheduled to go into the year 1492, and another day he's scheduled to go into a completely different year. You know, stuff like that. Okay, and all these are rentals, right? Vacation rental. That's the onsen. Okay. I remember, I think this pack is when I started playing The Sims more often again, I believe, is when this one came out. Because I remember seeing like the fact, I think that like Deligracy, Little Simsy, a bunch of like, this is like the first one where content creators were asked to make builds for it, which I thought was really, really cool. And I still think is really cool. And like, I'm so glad they started asking content creators to build for The Sims. It really helps. I think it's like this is the first, like starting with this pack, I feel like The Sims 4 builds have just been held to like higher expectation, like the base game EA builds, because literally they look so much better. What I really wish they would do is update the game in general, like keep it to where you can still access all of the original versions of every single house, every single lot from the gallery from like the Sims team or whatever. But I really wish that they would update it to where we could have like other simmers create them. Also, thank you. I think it looked like Ireland to me, but I don't think that was your name. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I just misread that. Welcome on into our box of Dorios. I hope you enjoy your stay if you're in stream. If you're not, well then if you see the stream, you subscribed while I was streaming, so I appreciate you every way. It's on my phone now. What does it say? Ireland? I can't read that name. If you're in here, let me know. If you're not, huh? There's an I at the beginning. I thought it was an I. I might be wrong. Okay. But yeah, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you enjoy your stay. If you want to chat, we're pretty much just chatting and deleting houses right now. That's what this entire stream is. We are finally done with Mount Komorebi, which again, I think that this pack made expectations for Sims like EA builds, they're now EA partnered builds, to be like up here, versus in the past they were so much lower. Because like if you look at somewhere like Mount Komorebi versus somewhere like Glimmerbrook, which isn't that far apart, Glimmerbrook's houses suck. Okay, and we can skip Hemford on Bagley. Now we're on to Tartosa. We're in this last little row. Blessed. But I just have a lot of issues. Honestly, these houses I am debating. No, I should probably rebuild them still. I'm kind of debating keeping them because some of them like actually look like they would be proper for this, but I think we're gonna still delete all of them. I can always find these on the gallery if I need them. So I'm pretty sure all the builds that are in the world you can find on the gallery. Something that really bothers me about this world is the fact that the beach, you can't like build out onto the beach in this world. This world really reminds me of a very specific beach that I went to when I was in Spain and France. I think it was like in between Spain and France where I went. It really reminds me of one of the beach towns though that we went to, one of the coastal towns, with how this just looks like this little area down here. If we were to try, we're not going to travel there right now because we're on a mission to delete all these houses. But it looks so similar, and whenever I see it in this game, it like holds a slight special place in my heart. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like the beach where me and my friends were running for our lives and looked like crazy people because we were like on the other side of the city when the bus was leaving. EF tours. They obviously have to wait for us, but you get in trouble if you are late. I don't think that we actually got in trouble because I think we like were late by 1 or 2 minutes. So they weren't like mad at us. They're like, there were like 3 or 4 groups that were later than us, and all of them were closer than us because I think the adults, I was 18 when I was on this trip. I was technically an adult at that point, but it was for like my senior year trip, and I think like we noticed the time, like we were sitting in this like little cafe, we were having, I think we're having like gelato or something, or a smoothie or something, and then we had to go up and ask them, and because this was like the border area, so like they didn't really necessarily speak, like they didn't prefer speaking in French or Spanish. They spoke in another language that none of us knew, obviously. And they didn't speak any English at this cafe we went to, and only one of our friends knew how to speak French, and that was the only other language that they spoke. And we're like, can we get our smoothies like to go like really quick? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely. Like they were like getting annoyed at us because we were being slightly annoying Americans, because we were slightly rushing them, like, we need to leave, can we get this like now? But the only reason that we did that was because like we were obviously on a tour as teenagers, even though we would be considered adults in any of those countries. Like we could legally drink any of those countries and stuff like that. But like they were getting so annoyed at us. I felt so bad. And then we were just booking it down this beach with our drinks. I can just imagine what the people probably thought. They probably knew what we were doing, honestly. They probably see people doing stuff like that all the time. There was at least 3 or 4 other groups aside from us that were also running in that same town at the same time as us, because we were all running late to the bus. But it was such a pretty little town, and it was like so annoying because like we only had, I think, 2 hours there, 2 or 3 hours there. And while we were there, we had to eat lunch, and I think that was the only thing we had to do. But there was like a million other things that we could do. Me and my friends chose to go to an aquarium on a coastal town. Really cool aquarium. It had like, I think it's seals or sea lions or some form of whatever those are that are in France. I don't know like which version's in France. Because I think we were still on the French side of the border when we were there. But it was like a really cool little aquarium because it was, I think, partially on like an old ship or an old boat or something. Or like their exhibit looked like an old ship or an old boat. It was something to that effect. I'd have to find the pictures and look at them again. But it was such a cool place. That's what, like, I think the countryside of France is where I want to go visit again. The countryside of France and maybe Paris again, because I need at least a week to walk around Versailles. Or not Versailles, to walk around the Louvre. Why did I say Versailles? It's because I'm thinking of castles right now with this game. But yeah, I want to go back to the Louvre because I did not have enough time to walk around there. I feel like we were so rushed walking around, like going around and stuff there. It's not even funny. I really wish that we had like a lot more time to do that. Because I think for the entirety of the Louvre, whatever we wanted to see there, which obviously everyone wanted to see the Mona Lisa, like that's one of the biggest things that you go to the Louvre for. So all of us were like searching for that the entire time, but I think we had 3 hours. 3 hours for the entirety of the Louvre. For anyone who hasn't been there, most people take like a week out of their, like if you like want to do it properly, you take at least like 2 or 3 days, minimum. Full days to walk around. We had 3 hours. Safe to say, we were rushing and like searching for the Mona Lisa like no tomorrow. And then me and one of my other friends got lost, and that was a whole ordeal because neither of us spoke French. The 2 of us that got lost. So neither of us spoke French, and our friends that left us, like I think only one of our friend group actually spoke French. So the other 2 people in our group were smart. They went with the friend that spoke French because they wanted to continue moving and look for the Mona Lisa like right away, whereas me and my friend like wanted to take a minute, like, you know, actually look at the art and stuff like that was there. And we couldn't figure out where to go because, like I said, we don't speak French. And this is the thing about France. I get that we're visiting. I get we should know basics French. We did know basic, like when I say basic though, I mean like basic French. And like we could ask for directions, but that doesn't mean we're going to understand the directions that they're giving us. And I don't think at the time that it was well known that you could use an app on your phone to like translate. Not that like, and it was also sketchy if we would even have service for our phones to do that anyways. So like we were, that was a predicament. That was a whole predicament. But yeah, I do want to go back for that. I want to go back to Versailles because I felt kind of, Versailles we weren't as rushed. I would love to go to a ball at Versailles. Specific, because I know that they hold like balls and stuff like that at Versailles. I would love to do something like that in any European country. It doesn't have to be Versailles. It could be like any old castle or something, or like old historical area where they do like balls that like you just have to buy tickets to. I think that would be a lot of fun to do in the far future. But stuff like that I think would be cool. That's like a reason to go back. I want to go back. If I go back to Europe though, I wouldn't want to focus on France specifically or Spain because I've been to both of those places. I want to visit the other countries. Like, I really do want to go to England and Ireland, and Scotland. I would love to go to all three of those places. I know England and Scotland and part of Ireland are all considered the same country, but like they're obviously different. They're still like different culturally. So I would like to go to all of those places. I think that would be fun. I also would like to go to just like Germany. I will say, I still, before I die, I really hope the political climate gets better because I would love to go to St. Petersburg so much. I would love to see the architecture there. I've seen like photos and stuff like that and it looks so beautiful. And I'm like, I can't go there. Like, I literally just can't go there because I don't think it would necessarily be safe for me to go there right now. But, or for any American really to go there right now, unfortunately. But I would love to go there before I die. That's what I'll say. And I want to go to the Netherlands because I have so many friends in the Netherlands. I would want to go to Italy. I want to go to Greece, but I also don't want to go to Greece. I've heard mixed reactions from people going to Greece as like an American tourist. Like, if I go to Greece, I think I might need to make sure that like I know someone who lives there. That might I didn't realize that there was only 2 residential lots in this world. I don't know how I didn't realize it. I guess it's because like I assume that most of the werewolves live like here. The Volkovs still live here? Oh wow. I mean, in this game there's probably like 10 generations that have gone through for normal Sims. Let's see. Here we go. I don't remember what I was just saying. Like I said, Netherlands, Greece, that's what I was talking about. We were talking about Greece. Well, I was talking about Greece. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to go to Greece. Before the wedding. I want to go to Italy because I have friends in Italy. Oh my goodness. I also want to go see Rome. I think I do prefer Mediterranean countries so far. Granted, well, I know that's why I'm saying that. I know Greece is Mediterranean, which is why I'm saying it. I think I like the food in like the Mediterranean countries more than I like the food in non-Mediterranean countries. As far as I've had so far, that could completely be different and change, but as far as I know, as far as I can tell, I prefer food from Mediterranean countries than food from like more Northern European countries. But I also haven't really been to Northern European countries. I'd love to go to I just want to like, I should be on that world cruise apparently, because the next one. We'll get on the next one. The next world cruise. So we'll just have to have my parents take care of all the pets. It'll be fine. They won't know who we are when we get back. No, but yeah. I think one of the biggest places I want to go to, though, first, before I go anywhere else, is probably Japan. I feel like a lot of people say that, and it's very cliche, but it's very true. I would love to go to Japan. Just for the pure fact that it's completely different from anywhere I have personally been so far. Because, like, obviously I live in the US, and I feel like Canada is just, like, a friendlier version of the US. Not really. I wouldn't mind going up to Canada. It's, like, a country that would definitely be really easy for us to travel to, at least. But I've been to Mexico. I kind of want to go to South America, but I just don't know what country I want to go to in South America. I think Chile would probably be one of the countries I would want to go to. I don't really know where I'd want to go to in South America. I like Mexico. I was thinking about Argentina. as well. I know that there's some countries right now that are currently unstable again. I do want to go to Brazil. I guess I should say that. I think Brazil would be fun. I don't speak the language there though, so that would be a little bit more of a challenge. Whenever I want to go to a country where I don't speak the language, it's more of a challenge. At least, oh, freaking A! There's 2 houses in this world and I just... It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Like I said, we're gonna be streaming until I get all this done, which we only have a few worlds left. We only have a few worlds left, it'll be okay. Oh, also, another idea, this is completely changing what I was just talking about. Another idea I have for this challenge is to possibly make like a what would it be called, like a refinery school? Or a, yeah? But like, instead of like having it necessarily be like a boarding school that Sims go to, I guess we could technically move them in with like maybe like a host family or something if we wanted to make it like a boarding school. But I was thinking that we could convert the high school into more of like a refinement school or something like that. Like it's more in that style. Or a finishing school. I thought that could be kind of interesting. If they ever do come out with like a medieval expansion pack, I would hope that they would also have like live-in servants of every kind. And then also live-in tutors. Or like hireable tutors. That would like, it would be like your sim is going to school, but it'd be like an alternative option. I wish that was just in the game though. Like they could have added that in the high school pack. That would have been really nice. I know that there's mods for everything. So I know for a fact that that's in a mod somewhere where we could get a tutor that would replace going to school. But I really wish that the Sims team would just add some more of this stuff. Like, I feel like our bang for our buck, modern day expansion packs versus expansion packs that were, I almost did the same thing and I almost hit the same button. I would have been so pissed off. But I feel like the Sims team is doing a lot better with modern expansion packs, with making it more worth our money. With like how much work and effort and time and everything that they put into it. I need to fix my cables. Because my monitor keeps like flashing on and off, which just means it's the cable's loose. But yeah, I think that they're doing better. I'm not gonna say that they're bad. They're doing a lot better with stuff like that. I just wish that we actually fully got the value. Like, I watched this TikTok the other day too, that was just someone like making fun of like, it's like the trend where it's like, the original one I saw was like, we're Colorado guys, so we go hiking every week, or like, you know, like that trend thing, on TikTok right now, and it was like, I'm a simmer. So I hate when the game updates because I know it's gonna break every time. I thought that was hilarious. And it was just like, I am a simmer. I'm secretly angry that the base game is free now. It's not a secret. Most people, I am so glad that people get to enjoy a game that I enjoy without having to worry about monetary cost. I am salty that they now realize 10 years later that the base game itself isn't really a game worth paying money for. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense, right? Like, yeah, like with how old it is, the little value it offers, I know why it makes sense that it's free now. It's just, when I bought it, because I bought it, I pre-ordered it, and I pre-ordered like the collector's, like whatever, the special whatever the heck for The Sims, because it's The Sims, I had to. And I think I literally used like my entire savings at the time to get the game. So that's also what makes me salty about it, is because 13-year-old Dorian saved up all of his birthday money, all of the money that he had gotten from the past like 6 months, so that way he could get the special edition of The Sims 4. And not only did he have to do that, he also had to convince his parents for months on end, because they hated putting their credit card online at the time, to buy it for me. Which is why I'm slightly salty that it's free. I love that it's free so that way more people can play it now. But that's where the saltiness comes in, is because I went, like, you know, it's just the little things. But hello, Aaron. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I am sorry that I missed your stream yesterday. I was being very frustrated on my computer because everything broke. Not really. Like, my Bluetooth disconnected and a couple of other things. So I was messing with my computer at the time when you were streaming, unfortunately. But how was your stream last night? How did that go? You sent your Sims to Tomarang to do missionary work? I think that was the premise of it. Like, it was actual gameplay this time, right? I'm not mixing that up with something else. I'm pretty sure you did actual gameplay for your past stream. Instead of like building or something not similar to this necessarily. I really regret not downloading an empty world right now. We're almost done though. We're almost done with deleting all the lots. We're so close. But how are you doing tonight, Aaron? I'm just gonna hit you with a million questions. But half of that was just statements. I guess that is fair. I'm good. I'm excited to see the maintenance, all the maintenance. We're close to being done. We're currently in Copperdale. I have mixed emotions. I love the builds in this world a lot more. Copperdale actually might be a good one to do for like an East Coast, if we want to do like an East Coast small town or coastal small town at some point in the series, or just for another playthrough. And yes, one of our sons went to Tomarang to save their pixelated soul. Okay, that's what I thought you did in your stream. I couldn't remember for sure. I was pretty sure it was that, but I was just double checking. But yes, right now I've been talking about so many things. As you came in when I was talking about being salty, and the reason why I was slightly salty about The Sims 4 being free now. I love it. He stunk at it. I would imagine. People aren't just gonna give up their souls for anybody. I know that, like, depending on the definition of a cult, that, like, fundamentalist Sims are also technically, like, a cult depending on the person you ask. Are you ever going to do, like, just spitting it out there, I'm sure someone else has said this already to you, but are you ever going to do, like, where there's a sect of it that becomes, like, a cult, where they make, like, a compound and, like, get very culty with it, just out of curiosity? Is that in the works? Like, where it's just, like, straight up a cult. Like, there's not even, like, it's not even, like, treading a thin line or anything. It's just a cult. Could we use this for? No, because it's right next to this. This would be a good lot to build the Belcher's house on, actually, because I was thinking about doing that at some point to make Patrick happy with me. We could do like a little town section right here and put the Belchers down. I do wish it wasn't so, maybe like, or in this world at least. That's absolutely a possibility. I know that would be a lot of work possibility. Just curious. You could have like a doomsday sect that creates like an actual cult compound. I watched a documentary about a doomsday sect of fundamentalists recently, or a video about it. It's I forgot what her name is. I'm sure you've probably watched her videos too on YouTube. She like just interviews people who have been in fundamentalists, like, or they're like Mormons or fundamentalists of some sort, or like specifically like people who are a little bit more extreme in those different like sects of fundamentalists and things like that. I'm just gonna stick with saying fundamentalists so I don't get myself in trouble. But yeah. I saw something about a doomsday sect of fundamentalists, and that was interesting. Depends on what our heir's personality ends up being. That's fair. That's pretty fair. I'm not gonna lie, I really need to catch up. Cults to consciousness. I like how you knew exactly who I was talking about. Yes, cults to consciousness. I haven't watched her videos in a minute, but I need to go back and start watching a couple more of them. They're always really interesting. The interviews are crazy. I've been on true crime YouTube a lot more recently. So yeah. I watch a lot of those videos as well. I have a problem. I'll probably watch more true crime than what is healthy for me to be watching sometimes. I watch a lot of true crime. I watch a lot of historical stuff, like people are doing that. Recently, I've been watching just a ton of stuff talking about how to play D&D because I want to find a group of people to play D&D with. Because I think it would be fun. I've played it once before and I want to try playing it again. The way my hands flapped. But yeah, that's pretty much my YouTube like homepage right now, is like true crime, historical, random things. I've probably watched everything from the BBC at this point. Probably not, but a lot. Such an interesting rabbit hole. It really is. Like, Cults to Consciousness was super interesting, and like once you start going down that rabbit hole, hard to get out. I know I started watching the is it a single documentary or is it a docu-series about the fundamentalist family that was like in hot water last year that had their TV show. Oh my gosh, what was their names? I can't remember what their names were, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I forgot. I don't remember where the documentary was even on, so I can't even continue watching it. I think it was on Hulu. It was either on Hulu or HBO. It was on some service that we had. And I know I started watching it at one point when it was more popular and I got bored and I stopped. But I'm also really bad with stuff like that, like with Cults to Consciousness videos. Those are like videos I can just pause instantly and just walk away from because I'm interested in it, but it's not like something I have to keep watching. So I'll tend to watch it when I'm getting ready or whatever. And then like I can obviously end it whenever I'm done getting ready, and sometimes I just won't go back to it. It is a docu-series. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the Duggars. That's what it is. It was the Duggars. I'm pretty sure it was the Duggars. I don't remember what it was on though. I need to find that again to actually watch it. But I am really quickly, because we are at the 2-hour mark. This is something I'm trying to reinstate a little bit more stringently. Is we are going to take a break. So everyone get up, move around, get food, get water, do what you guys need to do. I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do, which we're pretty much just going to see a loading screen for the entire break. It's also partially so that way we can play ads on Twitch really quick while I'm not actually talking and stuff. Amazon Prime, Shiny Happy People. That's what it's on. I need to go back and watch that because I keep meaning to. I think I like fell asleep while watching it. So like it played through the whole series, and when I woke up, it disappeared and I forgot what it was on and everything. I'll need to go check that out again. But I'll be back in 5 minutes. Move around, get food, get water. Do what you guys need to do. I'll see you guys all back very, very soon. Okay, y'all, we'll be starting again in about 10 seconds. The reason why it's 10 seconds specifically is because that's how much longer the ads have apparently on Twitch, and I'm hoping that is correct. And let's go ahead and get right back on into the game. So let's switch over to the game. Dorian, come on. Okay, so we have San Sequoia, we have Chestnut Ridge, and we have Tomarang left to delete the houses from, and then we'll be done. We'll finally be done. Something that I was talking about earlier, Aaron, was doing some sort of like finery school for the high school. So that way, like, the Sims that get sent to the high school might be like the royal family and stuff. Oh my goodness, the Michelson family. I swear you let Sims have more than 8 Sims in a household. The only person who doesn't utilize it ends up being the player. That's a huge Michelson family. Okay, let's... I don't know if evicting them will delete some of them or not. If it does, whoops-a-daisy. But you know, it is what it is, okay? Okay. Excuse me. I got some actual water again now, too, to drink. So that way, I stay healthy. But yeah, I was thinking of doing some sort of finery school for the high school, maybe calling it that. I also eventually, in the probably relatively far future, I do want to send some of our Sims to university. And it looks like one of the universities actually looks very much so like from the proper era that I would start sending Sims to the university, like from like the 1700s forward. So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for that. We're also talking about how we'll eventually do the Oregon Trail, which I know a lot of this stuff is so far off. But like how we're gonna do like the voyage to the Americas and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out what world would be best for like a Jamestown-esque build, which I think for that we're just gonna try to find a world that's relatively empty and then build walls up and build a residential rental or something, and that'll be like the entire settlement is like the residential rental for all the Sims to live in. Something similar to that. But yeah, I really wish that we could build residential rentals on the water. I also really wish that we could just place down lots on water, because I would love to build like a ship in the Brindleton Bay, for example. It'd be amazing. But I don't believe that there's any lots that are actually part of the water. I think the only place that has a lot in the water right now is Solani. Which is kind of surprising. I'm surprised they haven't done that like with any of the other worlds yet where they have a lot over water. Like with Tomarang, they had a couple of spots that would have made sense. Like I think the lot that both of us actually built our houses on it. That I built my house on. I think Aaron, you built your residential rental on the same lot. I'm pretty sure that lot would have been a pretty good lot to have as partially water. I'm assuming they didn't do it because residential rentals don't work over water for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like a coding issue. It probably is. It's probably some complicated coding issue. But I will not not be upset about that one for probably a little while, because I really wanted to build a residential rental resort on a water, like on a beachside property in Solani. I thought that would have been perfect. I'm not allowed to do that though, because there's the water as part of the lot. But yeah, I'm thinking that we're probably going to build a boat somewhere and then maybe just make the entire lot like a lake and put the boat on the lake. And then call it good, so that way we can maybe do some like... So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our Sims essentially live on the like there'll probably be rental lots, so like you have to pay per day to live there essentially, is what we'll end up doing. So that way it's kind of like we paid for a ticket on the ship to cross the ocean or whatever. And then we'll probably just do like a couple of random rolls to see if the ship survives, if it sinks, I'll probably have to like look up statistics and stuff for that whenever we get to that point. Because I do want to have family that goes to the, like I want our main family that we're actually following to go to the Americas. Because the way I've kind of decided, I don't think our main family will ever be in the castles. Welcome back, Aaron. But yeah. I don't think anything will ever be in the castles. Can you go over the ship thing again? So the ship thing is for like whenever we start moving to America. I want our main household to move to America because I don't think our main household will ever not be peasants in Hemford on Bagley. I think I just forever want them to be peasants in Hemford on Bagley. They might marry into like the royal family through XYZ means, like maybe they're royal up into like a barons or countess or something like that household in the future, and then after that maybe they'll also marry up into something further than that, like they can marry into the royal family like through a couple of generations. But I don't think like we'll ever be playing mainly as the royal family. I just don't think it'd be as fun. I feel like it'd make it more complicated if we're being completely honest. I don't want to play as the royal family. I want the challenge. But I think that they'll end up, we'll make a ship on a random lot in a random world. I don't know which world yet. That will, it might be on Solani, just so that way it's like as water, as ocean as possible. And then we'll probably have like a roll to see if the ship survives the voyage, stuff like that. Different roles for the Sims to see if they survive for XYZ reasons. Like if they get, I don't know what was rampant on the ships. I think it might have probably been like dysentery or whatever disease. We'll do research when we get to that point. And do rolls to see if they survive or if they make it across the voyage, because I'm sure that there's going to be some of them that don't make it across. And depending on how like developed, quote unquote, the town that they move into is, because it'll be kind of like our version of like Jamestown or Plymouth or whatever, we'll probably end up rolling for some different things more frequently depending on that as well. Because like I'm using the Ultimate Decades Challenge, like that Morbid Gamer she made, as like a base, but I do definitely have some ideas that I want to implement, like the ship voyage, for example. But yeah, I think it'd be really fun. Maybe even disease is brought on by by rats. So we could do something like that. Maybe we could we could have like puppies or kittens traveling with us that are like rats or something, like Chihuahua puppies. Or something like some sort of puppy that looks like a rat, or like a kitten that looks like a rat, or maybe there's like a reskin for like some squirrels or something that we can somehow bring with us, or rabbit. Chestnut Ridge, I was debating. I feel like Chestnut Ridge might be the best. The issue is I really want to use Chestnut Ridge for like the Oregon Trail, for like the Wild West type of stuff, because what my thought was, like when they're doing the Oregon Trail, is that we'll also have them be rental lots where they rent out the lots. Like they have to buy the ticket to live on the lot, they have to pay their fare to go through the Oregon Trail essentially. And these are just like the camping spots that they're stopping at. And I was thinking of using Chestnut Ridge for that, which I guess we could always just use a different lot in Chestnut Ridge for that. But I was thinking of using Chestnut Ridge. I was thinking of using Moonwood Mill as like the mountains, and then using, I don't know where we would actually live at, though, is the issue, if I use both of those. I'm kind of hoping that there's some more worlds that come out that, like, can help me a little bit more. Or we might have to start looking into some custom worlds, possibly. Because Hemford on Bagley is great for the medieval portion of this. I was thinking of Strangerville as well, as where we could settle as if it was California or something. Because obviously we have the actual world based off of California, but it's very, very modern. There is a mercantile already, and horses are the main mode of transport. That is also true. Oh, that's a good point. That's so much better for the Oregon Trail. But yeah, I mean, like, we can use different roles for multiple reasons, for multiple things. But I was thinking of Brindleton Bay, possibly. But Brindleton Bay, a lot of it looks so modern, it's kind of difficult as well. Brindleton Bay might be like our Jamestown new, like, area, though. We might just have to ignore the lighthouse. Maybe there's some way that I can get rid of the lighthouse. Maybe by then I'll be large enough on YouTube where I can I can find some people to help me figure stuff out like that. Strangerville, I'm thinking Strangerville too, possibly for like an extension. I don't know, because Strangerville is obviously based off of Stranger Things, but I think Strangerville would be like a fun little settlement or like a fun town to be in for like the 50s, because like this is like obviously like way in the 1900s, like the 1950s. I like to use Brindleton Bay for 1800s. That is also, yeah, so I was thinking like Brindleton Bay for all the ways from like settling, and then we'll just like build it up all the ways through to the 1800s and stuff. Thank you, Horror Chick, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Welcome on into our box of Dorios. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking it would work really well for an 1800s port city as well. Because like I want to eventually, like we're obviously gonna probably essentially build out this entire world again. Which I am both looking forward to and dreading. I'm sure I'll get help from people to help me build certain lots and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like debating. I would totally help you make over the worlds for historical gameplay. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like which worlds would be best for like which eras, you know? Like another thing that I was talking about earlier that I want to do is I want to give the high school a makeover. So that way for all the houses I'm not playing through, if we travel to a sim and they're in the high school, it doesn't look too crazy modern. I was thinking of trying to like model it after like a old boarding school, like a finery academy. Something to that effect, where it's like the Sims travel there for finery school or something. From say like the royal families and the more like higher class families and stuff. See, my only issue I think with Chestnut Ridge is I definitely think that this section of Chestnut Ridge would be good to use, like the actual like ridge up here. For the Oregon Trail part. And then this like more settled area I think would be good to use, like if we decided we wanted to use it for like an actual like Wild West-esque type of town. Oh hey, look, it's Caleb. It's the Vators. I'm debating if I want to move the Vators anywhere, like the vampires. We might move the vampires in the Get Together world for the medieval era. I want to move all the werewolves into the world that's like modeled after Greece, because that's where werewolves were thought to be coming from. Yes, I'd appreciate if anybody that was in the stream would like the stream. You would really help me out, and again, I'd really appreciate it. Right now, we're just kind of talking about a bunch of different ideas for the future in this gameplay. I have a lot of ideas. Who's living here? Is that a medieval sim? No, okay. No, it's the sim that never dies. Her name has changed like a million times, I think, in this playthrough. I'm pretty sure I turned on mortality recently in this game for all that sim has a broken texture. For all sims, so yeah. Also, I know I said this the last time we were in, like you were in my stream, Aaron. I need to get that mod from your server. Oh my gosh, that house holds horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses. Jeez. Okay. But I need to get the mod from you that keeps Sims in the world that they're from, so they don't like move around like to different worlds, because I think it would make so much more sense for medieval gameplay. I've been thinking about it, and I do think that I'm probably going to have another event eventually on the channel where I have a bunch of people send me medieval families to put into Henford-on-Bagley again, because a lot of the families that are in Henford-on-Bagley right now don't look English, and I mean that in the medieval terms. Like medieval Europe was very holy horses, Batman. My goodness. But yeah, like in the medieval terms, I always have to take out my earbuds. I feel like I'm yelling constantly, which I do yell a lot. I'm sorry. It is just a fact. I'm constantly yelling. I don't talk, I yell. But I was thinking of how people make some houses and stuff, make some, not houses, but some families that we can add into the medieval, like Henford-on-Bagley. I hit the wrong button. That we can add into Henford-on-Bagley, because right now, I think there is, Like, a lot of the Sims that are in Henford on Bagley at the moment aren't Sims that would necessarily be in England or in Europe in the medieval era. They're just not of the proper, like, ethnicities and stuff. And I'm obviously not going to be portraying certain aspects of history, but I'm also not trying to pull a Bridgerton. I'm not trying to go that intense where it's, like, literally only a couple of families are, like, English looking. I do really enjoy Bridgerton. I love it. But yeah, I think we're gonna have some people maybe sending some Sims that are more like English or Irish or Scottish inspired, which is all of like what I would consider Henford on Bagley. Eventually, I think, so next stream we are probably going to be working on the family tree for this series because I had to find a new family tree app. I don't remember what it's called at the moment off the top of my head, but I saved a TikTok that talked about another website or app or something that I can use for the Sims family trees. So we are going to be doing that in the next stream. And we're going to be redoing the whole family tree because the Plum Tree app website has officially shut down in December. And I need to remake the family tree. So we're going to have to find all the photos and stuff, which I actually don't know if all of them are going to be on my hard drive. There might be some photo list profiles for a little bit until I can grab them again. I totally feel you, like, when you're trying to build a story and when the Sim is like, here, let me help. Literally. I feel that. Would you say that, TikTok? Oh, God. Oh, my goodness, Patrick. Oh, my goodness, Patrick. He's just laughing over there playing Project Zomboid. That's probably one of the best gifts I've given you. Because you've gotten, I think you have like over 100 hours. You have 200? You have over 200 hours in that game now? No wonder you barely get any sleep. Jesus! You have so many hours in that game now. I think I literally have like 60. And I've had it for like 2 years. Dang. But yeah, that was a sidetrack. But I think next stream is probably going to be family tree stuff. The stream after that, I want to start working. I want to finish the castle in Henford on Bagley first. And get Henford on Bagley fully set up after we do the family tree and paperwork stuff and stuff like this. Henford on Bagley, getting that fully set up and building stuff out in that world is priority first. We're doing that first. I need to tell myself we're doing that first because I want to make over some of the houses and stuff like that a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and the streams following that is like making sure that on Henford on Bagley, the king actually like owns all the lots and that they're renting them out to the peasants and stuff like that. And then we'll have like maybe 1, maybe 2 lots where it's like a baron and countess. Then we'll make sure that there's like servants' quarters so that way other families actually have places to live. And I have a lot by, I think her name was Sam Bam Sims, I believe. She used to stream on Twitch all the time. I don't believe she streams anymore. At least I haven't seen her anytime recently. But she was doing the Ultimate History Challenge, not just Decades, but Ultimate History Challenge, or just the History Challenge. And she made like a medieval town, but it's like a community lot where it's like the lots that change depending on like how you want them to change. So I think I'm going to take that lot's shell and remake it into like a bunch of houses. So that way, like remake the houses into like actual living spaces instead. So that way on that lot, we can have like a little village off in like the wilderness. I think that we're going to remake the like lot in the forest probably into a village as well, or some sort of encampment or something. I need some more like living spaces where it's like, and now that we can have up to 6 houses per the game, I mean I could add more, but I don't think I'm going to, so that way my game doesn't break more. But since we can have up to like 6 households on a single lot now, we're definitely going to be doing some more builds that resemble that. Like the one build that is in the like center of Henford on Bagley right now that I said was going to be the orphanage. We've literally never gone to it really, except to like abduct children for Petra. That sounds terrible, but that's the only time I think I've gone there is when we used it to abduct children. A serf village, basically, yeah. It might be like the village of servants that like for the royal family or something. But I do also want to make like that little lot into maybe like 6 different households if we can figure out how. They don't have to be like big households, obviously. I should look up what like medieval apartments or whatever look like. I don't even know what I'd look up for that. Like I need to see if I can find like some old floor plans or something. And if nothing else, I can just build the like outer shell of the structure looking medieval, and then the interior will just have to be what the interior is. For that, did you just die? What day were you on? Day 20? Poor Patrick. Imagine if you did actually ever get to day 100. You have 200 hours in the game. I'm surprised you haven't yet, honestly. I'm sure you will soon, but... Oh, Merlin, you're not even on camera anymore. Now it's just your bed on camera. Did it get too hot for you? But, yeah. We're probably gonna build a village. We'll probably build, like... Honestly, we'll probably build, like, 2 villages. I'm also thinking of remaking the farm in a way where there's, like... And we might not do this with our family's lot right away, but I kind of want to see if we can make it to where there's, like, a couple of different households on the farm lots, because I want to still have, like, the 2 farms. So maybe there's the household of the people who own the farm, and then there's the small, like, shacks or, like, shanty homes or whatever you want to call them of the people that are working the farms, like the farmland for them, like on the same lot, you know? So not quite like, because we're not going to be depicting like slavery, but like serfdom. I guess it's kind of the same type of thing though. Like, but they're like, they'd be like renting out, or they'd be paying for those houses. So those like houses would be like 0 simoleons of rent or whatever, possibly. But those would be for like the serfs or like the peasants, like the very peasanty of the peasants. And then I don't know if we'll do that with our farm necessarily. It would be a good way to add more households. With our farm, I do kind of want to do a second household for the generation that has kind of like aged out, or for like adult children who don't get married. Granted, we're supposed to also have the adult children who don't get married like move into like the church or like a monastery. And I think we are going to be building a monastery in the other world, because I think we're going to be basing it off of Normandy for a get together. Farmhands. We call them, thank you, Aaron. We call them farmhands. Exactly. So they'll essentially be like the farmhands, but live in farmhands. And they'll be working there. I do think that I want to try to have a lot more, like, I do want to have stuff like that. I want to make it to where we have more Sims that can live in the world, because honestly, Hemford-on-Bagley doesn't have a ton of lots. Like, it does, but it doesn't at the same time. Like, it doesn't feel like it does. Ooh, Normandy. Yes, Normandy. That's totally not because I've been watching Vikings Valhalla and the Queen of England at the time is Norman. Is that, so yeah, it would be like France. It's, a coastal section of France, modern day, I believe. I know Normandy has switched hands like a million times between France and England. So I know, because like when England had like territory in France, it was obviously part of England, and it's gone back and forth. I think that's actually part of what the 100 Years' War was over Normandy. So Normandy will definitely be following the same rules where they have to roll for the wars and stuff like that whenever we do have households there. But I am thinking, since it's like an island, that we're going to be making it, like, we're going to have the castle, we'll have a monastery there, and it'll just be like an overarching monastery for any of the like side households who don't get married. They'll just move into the monastery. We'll have the monastery, we'll have the castle, and then we'll have a couple of like mini villages on the island. Because I do want to keep the ruins, and I think there's a total of like 5 lots on that island. Because the island I feel like we could use for medieval, but the main part of Get Together's world, it's too modern to really use for medieval era Europe. So yeah, I think that's the plan as of right now. Go ahead and build this one. But yeah, I think these lots up here are going to be the lots that we're gonna have them like stay in for the Oregon Trail when they're doing it. Because they're the least like developed section of the map, I believe, of this world in The Sims. But yeah, so those are the ideas for now. It's a lot of ideas. A lot of them aren't going to be taking place for a while. I do wish I could like dedicate more time to building in this world, but at the same time, the Ultimate Decades Challenge makes me burnt out really fast, I've learned. Like, I just get burnt out on The Sims really, really, really quickly with the Ultimate Decades Challenge. That's not because I dislike it. It's just because it takes so much work and time to move things and put things in motion and get things built and just for everything in this challenge that it really starts eating away at me to like not even want to play The Sims in general. So I have to be really careful with like how much I work on this series because of that. But yeah, I could totally see like right here being like a camping spot that we stop at. We could go down to the waterfall, which I think is around. Yeah, we could like go down to the waterfall or something, wherever it is. I would have to find it. Oh, it's right there. That's not the one that we can swim in. But yeah, I could see us totally like camping here for the night on like the Oregon Trail. And then we have that gnome with the Oregon Trail looking item. So we could probably use that. I'm sure someone has made a tent though that looks like a wagon as a mod, because that would be like perfect. If someone has made like a tent that looks like a wagon, perfect. I mean, we can also sleep under the stars, but just to like have on the lot as like an extra little thing that looks nice. Just to make it make sense. Make it make sense. But yeah, I am going to be streaming again tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be doing a build. I don't know what we're going to be building because I need to be able to finish it within 4 hours. So I need to figure out what it's going to be, but I've kind of decided that I think Monday streams are going to be build streams. Likely not for Ultimate Decades, but if I'm really needing to build stuff for Ultimate Decades, possibly for Ultimate Decades if it's a smaller build. And then I can do a speed build afterwards, because I just think that makes sense. Something else I do want to do eventually is make the Spellcaster world more medieval looking than what it already kind of is and stuff like that. That's totally understandable. I looked into the Ultimate Decades Challenge to do as a series and instantly knew I didn't have the time. It's a lot of like, if you want to do it somewhat right, it takes a lot of time and effort. I know I've seen this person on TikTok recently and their Sims game looks so beautiful and they're doing the Ultimate Decades Challenge right now as well, but they're doing it as like a TikTok series. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel or not. And oh my gosh, their game looks so pretty. I'm really bad with finding lighting mods and stuff like that. Cause like, I personally prefer not to use them just for the simple reason that like, lighting mods are they're just not really my jam. I'm not good at picking them and I've never really used them. I like just normal Sims lighting. The Sims is what a Sims is. And I kind of like keeping the game as close to the game as possible, even when I'm doing a challenge that's heavily modded like this. But like the lighting mod that I have right now, I mostly like. There's a couple of instances, like there's a bar, the Screaming Gecko. Whenever we go to the Screaming Gecko in the For Rent series, they look so overexposed. But other than that, I've really been enjoying this lighting mod because you can see the Sims in the dark. It's not like you're squinting to see your Sims. But yeah, I saw this person's game and I was like, oh my gosh, their game looks so beautiful. How did they do that? But also, as we're getting more and more items, like the fact that we have a toddler chamber pot now, that is amazing. I know the woodworking toilet, if you use that toilet, it looks pretty similar. Like, it just looks like a chamber pot with, like, wood around it, kind of. I think it's like a bucket is underneath, like a metal bucket or something is underneath it. You can tell it's a metal bucket. So that also works for the Ultimate Decades Challenge without mods. Or like some of that, like the horse ranch outhouse. I have that on my lot right now because I think that looks pretty good. Which lighting mod are you using? I would need to check. It's what is it called? Can you tell? I was talking about this earlier. I sometimes wish I could just hire someone to go through my mods folder for me because I have so much CC and stuff that either needs to be updated because I haven't done that in a while. Let me see, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4, mods. It should be close to the top, I think. Northern Siberia Winds is what it's called, is the name of it. I have dark base light rooms, and then I have gentle cast lighting. And it's by the same lighting mod, so that way it matches. Wait, do I have 2 of these in here? Dark base. I wonder if that's messing stuff up. I didn't realize that there were two instances of that in here. See, this is the type of thing I can't delete that right now. I'll have to hopefully remember to delete it later. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, I just need someone to go through my mods folder because I really suck at mods. I just suck at keeping track of them. I suck at understanding fully how they work. I'm not gonna lie, like I download them and install them and stuff, but I don't truly understand how they work and things. And also, my game tends to break a lot just because I have so many mods. Like my dust mod currently isn't working properly. Like it still works, it's just not working properly. Like I can't click on the floor and hit sweep around. I have to like click on the broom in the Sims inventory to get them to sleep, which isn't a big issue. Like I can obviously do that, and I've been doing that for my series. I don't know if I've mentioned it in the Ultimate Decade series or not, but that's something else I don't understand. Like, how is that not in the Bust the Dust like item list? Like, how did they not give us a broom? Like, come on, Sims team. You could have at least like given us a broom for it. Okay. Tomering's gonna be interesting because I think all these properties are technically the glitched sim. I think that there should be still like the Sims from this expansion pack living in their original properties at the moment. Like I'm sure, yeah, there's Venetia and there's Zafira right there from our other series, but we're evicting them so that way we can fully build. How do you bulldoze these types of lots? Can I go to sell business? Check. Brooms help with dust too. Yeah, exactly. Like, how do they not have brooms? I am kind of annoyed that they gave us a toddler chamber pot and not an adult chamber pot. Like, they couldn't have just slipped that in. Like, if they gave us the taller chamber pot, all they have to do is size it up for adults. I know it's probably more complicated than that, obviously. I'm not, like, a game developer. I've done 3D modeling. Hate it. Can't do it. And animation, like 3D modeling and animation. Not for me. Not for me. No, sorry. But, like, if they give us a toddler chamber pot, just give us an adult chamber pot. Just slip it in. Just slip it in somewhere. Maybe in the next expansion pack if it kind of makes sense with it. I don't know. I really need to make a video like Little Simsy. Patrick keeps telling me to make one, but she makes like her things that she really wants in The Sims 4 and stuff like that. I need to make one of those because I have a lot of opinions. I'm pretty sure they're fairly different than some other people. And I'm pretty sure people like Little Simsy don't necessarily love or play with occults to the extent that I love occults and like to play with occults and stuff like that. It's like something I was saying too, if they wanted, like, in my opinion, something that would be relatively easy in comparison to doing something like werewolves or whatever, is they could do like a undead occult expansion where they fully flush out ghost Sims. So like we could have ghost babies again, like in The Sims 3, I believe we could. We could have like ghost babies. We could have ghosts that are fully flushed out, like occults, instead of just being kind of like a normal sim. They could actually be like an occult sim to a bigger extent. I was bummed when adults didn't have the chamber pots, didn't fit adult. Right? I was so upset. I wish the chamber pots fit for the adults, because then literally that would be like, I don't even think you would need to like play a very basic version of the Ultimate Deck Age. Oh, there's werewolves in this household. I don't even think that you would need like mods really at all at that point if they actually added chamber pots in, because that's like one of the big things that we don't have in The Sims is like a proper toilet or proper like toilets slash no, I think like the toilet is like the big thing. One idea I have is that you can add vampires to the challenge. I was thinking of adding vampires to the challenge eventually. But I don't know. I'm thinking of like adding vampires into the get together world, possibly. Because I want to put werewolves in the like world that looks like Greece. I keep forgetting the name of it. I don't play in it ever, so I don't remember the name of it. Tartosa. In Tartosa, I want to put the werewolves because they look like werewolves originated in Greece, so I just think it makes sense. And then I wanted to put some vampires. Possibly the monastery will have like an underground crypt or something, because I want to build a monastery and get together. Maybe the monastery will have like a secret underground crypt where the vampires live. That would be interesting. Maybe that's like that world's secret is they have vampires running amok. Our world, if you guys didn't see the playing episode, I'm sorry, I'm about to spoil a couple of things. But as you guys know, with the royal family shifting and stuff, I had to like really quickly just add a sim to be the adult of the household because we only had toddlers, and obviously that's not a thing in The Sims. And like, I think for Hemford on Bagley, I'm gonna be mostly focusing on spellcasters and witches and things like that. We might get more into it like once we do move to the Americas and there's like the witch trials and stuff like that as well. But I do want to kind of focus on that. I think on Hemford on Bagley, I want to put werewolves in Tartosa as of right now. If we get fairies, that'd be also perfect for Hemford on Bagley. And I think vampires we're going to do in the Get Together world. Again, I can never remember the name of that world. I don't play it in it often enough. I know, there's 8 Sims left. It's insane. 8 Sims that we're currently playing with, which is kind of nice though too, because like, it was getting kind of hectic and it was taking a lot longer to record the episodes with how many Sims we had, which is okay. It's just the more time consuming it is, the quicker I will start to get burnt out on the game, which is something that I don't want to happen if possible. All in one household. I mean, that's why we made Petra the court magician. Which is also why I want to kind of focus on magic, maybe in Hemford on Bagley. So like, if fairies ever become a thing in The Sims, they'd be perfect fit in there too. But yeah, so we're going to be making a lot more like villages and stuff on lots now that we have more like residential lots that can have more than one family and stuff like that as well, Gaeton. But vampires, I think the way I would personally do it is we'd have like similar to witch hunts, we'd have like I do want to do a maintenance stream where we just flush out occult sims before we add too many more of them. There is one more sim currently that's alive still that I do want to make into a witch. I think I'm just gonna cheat what her next trait is so that way I can have a reason to make her into a witch. I think it really fits her character and everything. You guys can probably guess what I'm talking about. It really fits her character, it fits her name even. And I think that she's going to be the new evil witch in the woods, whereas Petra's going to be like the court magician and stuff like that. So that's kind of my idea there. But yeah, I want to do a stream where we fully flush out how we're going to do occults in my series, because I've seen a couple of people who have done occults and I like the way that they've done them. I just haven't made a set of rules, and the Ultimate Decades Challenge itself, Morbid Gamer, she didn't put rules in as far as I know. I might be wrong, but I don't believe that Morbid Gamer put in rules for occult sims necessarily, so we kind of have to come up with our own rules for that. Like for Petra, I might have like 2 different types of spellcaster where there's witches and warlocks versus like evil witches and warlocks versus good witches and warlocks, where like the good witches and warlocks still age and they eventually die. The evil ones will like live as long as possible by doing sacrifices and things like that. Which we kind of talked about that before in the series, but I want to flesh it out a little bit more. But yeah. Okay, so we're pretty much done. I think I am just going to move out these households possibly. So we have the Pleasant household is currently living. This is the household that I definitely want to move out, the Nishidaki household. They don't make any sense for this world. But this small medieval village right here, this is the lot that I want to edit into a couple of different residential rentals. Is the plague? Yeah, the plague is only 1 year right now. So there's no more plague rolls, luckily. At least no, there's no more in this century. I think there are other plague rolls in different centuries. Rolls? I can't say that word. I'm sorry. But yeah. I wonder if you sized down a regular toilet and sized up the toddler potty and hid the regular toilet under the top. Ooh. That's a good point, Aaron. I'm sorry that I didn't get to that. I got off on like tangents. I got to it finally now though. Might as well put them all in one. 8 Sims left. But they can't have baby. Vampire Sims can have babies in The Sims 4 though. We'd have to make our own lore for the vampires in our world, for the werewolves in our world, and then for the spellcasters and whatever other occult Sims might come in the future. How many houses are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so there's 4 houses in here. I really like this village. It's oh my goodness. Sam Bam Sims is the one who made it. I might go through and edit at some point, but I really love how this village looks. She did a really good job with this medieval village, I think. I just love it so much. Okay, does that mod that I have also make the glass look like that? Because I'm not opposed to the glass looking like that in the windows. But yeah, so we're probably going to make each of these houses like mini houses with like a kitchen with a stove, like a kitchen, or I guess with just like a stove itself with a bed. We'll probably add lofts into these houses or something. We'll figure it out because I want to do a makeover. But stuff like this where it's like a little medieval village, preferably with 6 Sims who can live on the lot. We'll just have to really figure out how to do it because they're just so tiny. The houses are so tiny each that's the hard part. But yeah, we'll probably be making over this. This is kind of like what I was talking about. I was debating, where is the park lot? Like, which lot is considered the park? I was debating making the park into another, either moving the barracks to the park lot or making it into like another small village. I don't know. We're done fully with deleting all the houses now. We're at 2 hours and 47 minutes. We did that actually a little bit faster than I thought we were going to do it. I thought it was going to take about 3 hours. I guess it's about 3 hours, 13 minutes early. If they could have babies. Oh, in my game they can. Because in my game, I think I have the maximum household size set to 12. Mostly because I wanted to have horses and dogs and cats and things. So they could have babies. I just can't edit them and create a sim like a normal way. I would have to like split the household to go into full create a sim. But yeah, so we're going to be making that into like a village. This park, the Isle of Volpe Park. I think we might be making this into a village as well. It's a 50 by 40. I mean, it's a really big park that we could definitely fit a decent amount of villagers on. So maybe this is like a really out in the woods village. I kind of want to keep this as like a witch house, like a house on the top of the, yeah, like a little witch's cottage. We'll probably make this into like a little bit of a bigger, maybe the houses will be a little bit bigger of a village. This right here, we might make this into a count or a countess's house, or we might keep this as also kind of like a little peasant's village. We'll just have to kind of like remake these houses a little bit bigger somehow. I want to keep this as a farm, but I think we're going to do on this farm where there's like the farm owners and then there's like the serfs who live in like worse conditions. But crazy that 5 Sims in the same household. I know, I promise you I didn't rig it. I did not rig it. I really didn't. I was actually slightly convinced that the coin didn't work, which is why there was that one spot where I kept just flipping it until we got a heads. Because I don't know how that happened. I truly don't. I don't know how that many Sims survived in one household. But yeah, I didn't rig it. My hands are up. I did not rig it. I didn't touch it. But yeah, we might move the barracks here. I don't know. I might take a vote on that. I'm debating moving the barracks over to the Isle of Volpe Park. Or if we want to have that as like a bigger village, then we can have this as like a slightly smaller village, another slightly smaller village. I think this one is also going to be like a, where there's like a baron or a count or something that owns the main house. And then we're going to have 5 other small residences for like the serfs to work here. Same with this. This one, obviously, there's only 3 Sims. That's really sad to see. I don't like looking at that household right now. But yeah, I think that's what that's my ideas for the time being. Church of the Watcher. I have here. This one we might make into more of like an apartment style house. That way we can also have 6 households in here. Like a medieval apartment-esque thing. Something more towards the effect of this build right here, which I did not do that build. And then if we go over and into Wittenberg. So let's see, we're working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots here. How are there still Sims living on? I mean, if you guys want to live on empty lots at this point, I don't even care. But so right here is going to be the castle lot, the 64 by 64. I was right, there are 64 by 64. The bluffs, maybe we'll make the bluffs like Vampire Island, and we'll make like a secret underground like living space for them there. And then I want to do a oh my goodness, what is it called? It's not a church, a monastery. I want to do a monastery on this island as well. So I think we're gonna do a monastery here on the lighthouse residential lot, because it's the next largest lot here. I think either a monastery here, or we might do the monastery on the bluffs. We might just delete the bluffs and make the monastery here. We'll figure that out in the future. And then all these other smaller ones are probably all going to be other residentials that are like multi-family residentials. Because what is this? The Crumbling Isle, which is so perfect, I think, for a medieval area. The bluffs being for vampires, right? I like that too, but I was also thinking if we do a monastery, we can do one of the households. Because a monastery, I want to have at least like 2 to 3 households on. So if we do one of the, like the upstairs household, might like the main monastery will be like the monastery household. Maybe the downstairs monastery household is like the secret vampire lair. Something like that. It's just an idea. It's an idea that I'm thinking of right now as we're playing. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking for this world. And then in Tartosa is the next world that we're going to do. So I want to do that world next. Tartosa will be the world after that. And here, I think I want to make kind of like, again, another like very large church build possibly. As well as like a royal family of some sort. I don't know, like, so I guess I'm like kind of combining Greece and Rome in this world is what my brain is thinking. Because it's kind of like, this world is kind of like a combination of Greece and Rome. So maybe we'll have like an old temple build or something, which might be like the werewolves lair, or like where the werewolves live is like in the temple. We might have like a park type of lot with like a lot of like, if I can find medieval workout equipment as kind of like the grounds, oh my goodness, the games that Greeks used, like the Olympic grounds. Oh, there we go. Why was that so hard? Some like sort of like Olympic grounds here as maybe like a gym lot. So I have like a medieval gym lot if I want to use it. Would you be looking to make a nunnery? It could double as an orphanage. See, I was thinking that too, as well as like a nunnery. Maybe that's something that we could put in this world. Because I'm fine with like shipping Sims like across seas for stuff like a nunnery or for the monastery. So I'm thinking of like a monastery. I mean, we could also make it so we could, I mean, would a monastery ever have a nunnery on the same plot of land? I don't think so historically. For our purposes, it might. Although we could do like a small nunnery here in the mid-nowhere section on this world. So I want to get as many things as possible in certain worlds. Like, again, castle over here. I think this is going to probably be the monastery right here. Maybe we can do a tiny nunnery here. We can do a village here. And then a couple of other villages right here as well. Because like I said, I think I'm going to model this one after, like, I think there's like a castle in, I think it was Normandy. If you made the Parthenon, yeah, we could do stuff like that. So like, I'm thinking Tartos is like somewhere in between Greece and Rome. We can kind of like, it's just Mediterranean. We can kind of like make it a Mediterranean world. Obviously, like, cause it's like, there's like Porto Luminoso. This like lot is literally called Via Romanza, which is in reference to Rome. Actually, I think that this is more so supposed to be Roman the more I look at it. I've always considered this more Grecian than Roman, but you know, this might be a little bit more Roman, but we could also have like a nectar farm somewhere in here, stuff like that. A food bank for vampires. I think the orphanage is where we're also going to have the witches steal the children from to continue their life. Originally, so the thing that I was thinking originally, this is supposed to be the orphanage right here. Let's go into build mode just so I can show you guys really quick. This was my original build that I was going to use as like an orphanage type of deal. I was just kind of messing around with the idea like when we were first doing this series. I definitely obviously want to redo it. I like the idea of a nunnery that will double as an orphanage. I like that a little bit better. So I think we're going to be going with that idea, Aaron. So thank you. Historically, they would be in different areas. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably do like the monastery on the island. And then we'll do the nunnery on that small lot in the middle of the main part of the island in the other world. This is also good because this is like what I want these streams to be, is like kind of spitting out ideas, figuring some stuff out. Like I said, the next stream is going to be primarily family tree. Right here was supposed to be the original like orphanage build that I had in mind. This is just going to be, I wasn't necessarily calling it an orphanage. I was just kind of like going to use it as if it were an orphanage type of deal. I think I'd rather use this lot for something else, possibly as a cemetery. But yeah, so like, as you can see right here, there were like 3 like children's bed. Here's for like the person who, like the adult who lives here. For the 2 children, there's like a couple of toddler, or there's a couple of chamber pots in here and stuff. And then downstairs, it's like a bench, or it used to be a big table for them to sit at and eat. I think some of my CC has been deleted since building this, obviously. I'm not gonna lie, I really, like I said, I really want medieval expansion pack of some sort or something, so that way I don't have to worry about CC being deleted like that. But yeah, so like this was originally supposed to be kind of like the orphanage build, but I was thinking maybe like, yeah, cemetery is a good idea. Brainstorming stream, because like if we look at the church over here, this is the entirety of the cemetery we're working with right now. I was thinking of making it, this is something else I'm gonna run by everybody. Should we make it to where they charge for people to be buried in the cemetery? Because obviously for the royal family, I want to have like a crypt and stuff underneath the castle. That was an idea I was thinking of. But for the cemetery, for this world and stuff, we'll probably, in other worlds, we'll make like smaller churches. This was just, I wanted the church to be kind of like the focal point of the town, you know? So I wanted to really make it like big and everything. But I was thinking that maybe we could charge for them to be buried both in this like mini cemetery directly connected to the church. Maybe this will be like premium prices right here. And then this can be the other cemetery right here that costs a little bit less because it's a larger plot of land. I really do need a cemetery. Some of the Sims I don't have gravestones for just because like you guys saw, like one of the children got just disappeared. So I don't have tombstones or urns for all the Sims, but I do have some. It would be realistic to charge. That's not, yeah, okay. It's like for like side households, we don't need to. Maybe we can just put them in the proper cemetery based off of what we think they'd be in. But for our main household, I think we are going to charge to put them in the cemeteries. Because I'm kind of running out of room on the corner of our lot to put tombstones. For the royal family, though, we are going to bury them in a crypt underneath the castle, which we will be building in a future stream eventually. I'm really glad I didn't kill off the sim before I took out all the tombstones. I would have been very upset about that. I would have added the sims back into the game just to kill them again. I'm not gonna lie. Like for like kings and queens and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's kind of like the state of the game right now. Since we are almost at the 3-hour mark, I do think I am going to end the stream here, possibly. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I should have just looked up what the website was to do the family tree. But yeah, so far those are my ideas. We are going to be adding in Mount Komorebi eventually as like an Asian-inspired world for medieval. We're primarily probably going to be using this lot, I think, as the royal residence. And then we'll do this one as kind of like the servants' quarters of the royal residence. It's kind of like a guardhouse type of deal. And then the other main lots that we'll be using are probably these ones. This also might be the royal residence up here, actually, in the snow. We might do like a northern type of Japanese-inspired city. Because this area is a little bit too modern. The rest of this is a little bit too modern, but this lot right here, if you don't look in that direction, it looks fine. But yeah, so we'll probably be adding this in. Probably, I think that we looked it up and it's in 1490 or 1454 or something like that. It was in the 1450s is when they first interacted with Japan. So we'll probably, or I guess, it probably wasn't specific. Japan might have been later, but just like Asia in general. So that's probably like when we'll start messing with this world, which gives me a while to really think about that and plan that out. So first we're getting Countford on Bagley organized, and then we'll move to Windenburg. So we have at least 2 royal families going on. And then we'll move on to Tartosa. And then by the time we're done with Tartosa, it'll probably honestly be time to start working on Mount Komorebi. I am really hoping this year to play through a little bit more of the Ultimate Decades Challenge than we played through this last year. I thought we were going to get through at least like 100 years over the course of the year. We got through 50. Not even 50, a little bit less. So I'm hoping we can get through at least another like 100 years within this next year. So we might be doing some live streams where we play through a couple of years at some point as well. So be looking out for those. Anyways, I am going to go to end off the stream here now in all actuality. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already subscribed. Don't forget to like the stream over on YouTube if you guys haven't already. It'd help me out a lot and I'd really appreciate it. If you're on Twitch and you're watching, don't forget to follow on Twitch. I will be streaming, doing this type of thing once a week. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing a build. I don't know what said build is going to be yet. I am thinking I want to do possibly townhomes because I haven't built townhomes in The Sims before. And I think it'd be fun to make some townhomes in The Sims, maybe on a smaller lot in like Newcrest or something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out tomorrow. But yeah, I will see you guys all then. Bye guys. Have a great rest of your night. Bye, Aaron. I appreciate all of you that came in, Aaron, Gaetan, everyone that subscribed. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.